Welcome everybody to another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All, the show for the fans, by the fans, back with you all for another pre-Super Bowl edition of the Free for All. If you would like to join the show, join via Streamyard. I have posted the link in the YouTube chat room. It is also in the description of the YouTube and Facebook video. Bro, you already know we got the crew in here for the Free for All. Just a note for all of those who are listening via audio podcast. This is called the Free for All for a reason. There's a lot of back and forth from time to time. We do our best to keep order, but it's a different kind of listening experience if you're only listening on the audio side. But definitely check out the YouTube page and check out these handsome faces, man, that come up here every Friday to talk Panther football. Gentlemen, let's jump into it, man. You know we got the crew joining us. First up, you know him, you love him. He's assured to tell you to shut the hell up. Panther Pickle, what's up?
What's up, guys? You know what? No matter what happens, we still Panther fans. If we wasn't, we wouldn't be here. Pep's in the Hall of Fame. God be willing, Luke and Steve join him next year. Hey, we rebuilding, but we on the way up. So
on the way up. I hope so, man.
Way up.
I really hope so, dude. Especially now that you have people making jokes about us at the NFL honors last night, dude. I don't know if y'all caught that, but the Panthers are officially the butt of the NFL's joke. We're in a sad place right now. Next up, it's a very special occasion when I'm able to welcome in person my paisan, my man himself owns Monster Subs in Spartanburg, South Carolina. It's my man, PJ Muscles Marinara. What's up, brother?
How you doing, boys?
Doing good, man. Happy to have you back on the Free for All.
Absolutely, man. Good to be back.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a good Free for All. It's going to be a lively one. I'm here for it. Next up, you might know him as the brand ambassador, the one who waves the C3 flag the highest. People know him and love him. It's our boy Diesel Scales. Deez, what's up, boy?
What is going on, Cody? Glad to be on another Friday Free for All here with you, man. Really excited. I didn't have enough heart to put on my Christian McCaffrey jersey. I just couldn't do it. Now, I'm going to be cheering for the man come Sunday, but I couldn't put on his jersey. I decided to go with a good old Dan Morgan jersey instead, because all I've heard all week long, and that's been from the national media, it's been from other fans, and it's been from podcasters alike, it's the fact that Dan Morgan knows what keep pounding means. And boy, the Panthers media has made an echo chamber out of that. And I've got a few words about that. Now, it doesn't mean that Dan's going to put together a 10-win team next year. It doesn't mean that we're going to the playoffs, but it means that Dan might be able to establish a firm culture in that locker room and bring back an atmosphere of winning, even if the roster isn't that good. And in my opinion, that's success for Dan Morgan. We don't even know that Dave Canales and Dan Morgan are the right pair together. It could be the fact that Dan Morgan's a great GM, but Canales isn't the right coach for the Panthers, or it could be vice versa. We just don't know. I encourage others to come on and discuss those facts here with us tonight on the Free for All. Another thing too, Super Bowl coming up. There's a lot of things to discuss about the Super Bowl. What's your prediction? How many yards from line of scrimmage do you think Christian McCaffrey will get? What kind of shoes do you think Tay-Tay is going to wear? What's your favorite Taylor Swift album? What's your favorite Taylor Swift song? And do you think she should wear more red lipstick or less? All these important things discussed here tonight on the Friday Free for All.
Yeah. Hey, man, we're accessible. Even for Swifties, if you want to come through, hey, man, we'll let anybody come in here and talk that shit. We appreciate you, D's. Next up, my man, my brother, C3 Anthony, back on the Free for All. Ant, what's up, dude?
What's going on, boys? Hope y'all are having a good Friday, man. Just happy to be here.
Hey, man, it's a Friday. People are getting off of work. We're happy to accept you. Kick your feet up. Let's talk some Panther football. Gentlemen, as you already know, last night was a momentous occasion as the first player ever inducted into the Hall of Fame that was drafted by the Carolina Panthers. Julius Peppers has been inducted into the Hall of Fame I'm gonna play a video that the Panthers last night released on their Twitter video. We'll play it and I'll get everybody's thoughts on Julius entering the Hall of Fame, and then I got a question about next year, and you know where that's going.
He's a freak of nature.
I mean, where do you start with Julius?
Big short drop. Oh, he fumbled the ball. Peppers has it in the air. Back down the sideline. 40, 30. No one's going to touch him.
He came in here, highly touted North Carolina kid.
Size, speed, no athleticism. He was just almost superhuman-like.
Heavy rush, little screen. Oh, picked off. Peppers, he will score. Rishi back in the pocket. Goes near side. It's picked off. It's Peppers.
You know,
Yeah.
A guy like that. His speed and his size and his strength probably forever will be unmatched.
Right. I
Can
agree.
you properly tell the story of the Carolina Panthers without mentioning Julius Peppers?
no, absolutely not.
I was happy to be back here. I was happy to come home, and I was happy to finish it out here where I should have been the whole time.
Julius Peppers in the Hall of Fame. Gentlemen, give me your reactions, man. What was your favorite memory of Julius Peppers as a Carolina Panther, and just your overall thoughts in general? It's the free for all, boys.
I watched Julius Peppers all the way back when he was drafted, and I didn't really care about college football way back then. But when he came into the league, I thought, this guy cannot be this good, as big as he is. But he was. And if anybody ever tells you that this guy plays like Peppers or this guy is going to be another Julius Peppers, stop that bullshit.
Yeah, don't believe
They
it.
ain't never going to be somebody that has the strength. This guy was 290, played faster and limber. If you look at those clips, he played more limber than Brian Burns does by a tremendous long shot.
Yep.
You know, he did have 1 year, I think it was in 2008, when he had a medical issue, but he still played and he still tried. He had 2.5 sacks. Other than that, he never had a season where he was under 7 sacks. Quite frequently, and his last year before he went to Carolina or before he went to Chicago was a contract year. He'd been franchised a couple of times. Everybody knew he was going. We all knew he was going. He still had 10.5.
He wanted to be a 3-4 outside linebacker,
right?
And the Panthers didn't want to do that with him, so he decided to move on.
And then
I remember that was very contentious at the time. You know, a lot of Panther fans felt really upset about that when it went down.
Yeah, and the sad part about that is when he left here, he went to Chicago and signed a contract with them to play in their base 4-3 as a defensive end. So he didn't even get to play the linebacker role that he had longed for.
For the most part.
I tend to believe him directly when he says he just wanted to get out of the home state of Carolina. For just once, he wanted to get out, and I kind of understand that. But you know, nonetheless, he went, he saw, he came back, you know, and
you know,
he's always been Peppers. So
real quick, we got my man Nick Gaskins on the free for all. Nick, what's up, dude?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Oh, what's up, man? Happy to have you. I mean, listen, I'll say right now what I said this morning. If y'all caught my embrace debate with Desmond and Monty, I think that Julius Peppers is the prototype for defensive ends that everybody will be judged against in the future, man. Bigger than everyone, faster than everyone, stronger than everyone, had a longer reach than everyone, is the first player to play in a Final Four and a Super Bowl. Like, the dude was just the definition of a physical freak of nature, man. And you just have to love and respect what he was able to do. And again, I know we're going to talk about Brian Burns and Frankie Luvu too. But again, we get so many comparisons that people try to make of you know where Brian Burns is in the echelon compared to Pep. And then when you start going over the things that Peppers did, you're like, bro, it's not even close, man. And I hate to do the comparison thing, but a lot of people think that Burns is on that level. And when you watch the highlights and just look at the stats, there's a level between them, man.
Yeah, that's just not even.
PJ, what say you, man? What's your first memory of Julius Peppers?
It was actually in that highlight package that they showed for him last night when he got that fumble recovery with one hand, ran it back. Saw that shit live when I was younger. But no, the dude was an absolute freak, bro. Like generational talent. When they talk about that, that's him. You know, former basketball guy. Like you said, Cody, even Final Four or whatever with NCAA basketball.
Yeah, UNC.
Came in, got drafted high as shit. What was he? Number 1, number 2, 3, whatever the fuck.
I believe it was the number 2 overall pick that year.
And Pickle fucking said it before. Besides one season when he only had like 2.5 sacks, that dude was an absolute monster. He never stopped. He always went 110%. He was very soft-spoken, didn't want the spotlight, didn't talk. And he was that dog, bro. He was that dog. And when it came contract year, he wouldn't say, I proved myself last year. So there's that.
Yeah, that's another thing that doesn't really sit right with people. Do y'all think the offensive tackles feared Julius Peppers? Like, was he the defensive end that on a Saturday night, like, you know, he kept you up at night? I see Nick shaking his head.
Jordan Gross said it many times that he was deathly afraid of Pep.
Dude, that's funny. Just like the two nicest guys. Go ahead, dude.
He even made Jordan Gross even said that Julius Peppers made him the left tackle that he was. He helped him to get to the level that he was because he knew that each and every practice he had to get ready to come out there and block Pep. And not only that, you know, Dan Morgan was talking about how he wanted to make other teams in the NFL fear our logo again. And if you think back to those days when we had Julius Peppers and those seasons that were successful, the logo for the Panthers absolutely was feared. And that defense was a different kind of animal with Julius Peppers on the field. It's rightfully so that he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and finally all of us Panthers fans can celebrate having our first drafted player in the actual Hall of Fame. Now we've got other members in there, but those members weren't originally drafted by us. They had played with other teams before they got here, and that's largely because we were an expansion team for the NFL. But I'm excited about this. I think this is great for the Panthers fans in general, and I hope that fans spend some time looking back at what Julius Peppers was able to accomplish, because that comparison and contrast that we did actually earlier this year on Brian Burns and Julius Peppers opened up my eyes to where Brian Burns is really on this team. And in the comments that Dan Morgan made, like, we'll try to sign him, wasn't exactly, and that was on WFNZ just last week, I believe. It wasn't very convincing that Burns is going to be here next season. I know we'll get into it maybe a little more later. We always got to fight about Brian Burns a little bit on the free-for-all. But that comparison, it really is divergent this year, I think, with the Burns performance. And that leads into, you know, our defensive coordinator and his scheme. And we'll touch all that later, but those are my thoughts on Peppers.
Yeah, I mean, you made that point too, man. Just like looking at what they're able to do and just how they were able to take over games, man. It was just, there's a difference. And I see D'Angelo, the legend. This is a narrative that comes up sometimes that he didn't go 110% every play. I almost wonder if, like, you're just a giant among normal men. Like, sometimes you just get bored. Like, bro, it's like I'm throwing children around out here. You know what I mean? This is like, it loses its fun sometimes.
I mean, at least he didn't get manhandled by a fucking backup tight end. Okay.
No, he didn't do that. He didn't do that. That's for sure. Yeah, we've never seen that happen to Pep.
Nope.
Hey, so look, next year, man, it's hard to even fathom this. But Luke Kuechly is going to be eligible to join the Hall of Fame next year. Now, I know we're all biased and we're all Panther fans, but do we think Luke Kuechly is going to make it first ballot Hall of Fame?
He should.
If Patrick Willis got in, he should. I mean,
he should.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were saying those two careers were really close, Willis and Kuechly. Like they had similar numbers. I haven't had time to delve into it myself, but that's what I've been told, and I don't know if any of you guys have had time to look at that.
Next year.
For everyone who doesn't know, this is the list of everyone eligible next year: Eli Manning, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, Terrell Suggs, Marshall Yonda, Marshawn Lynch, Earl Thomas, Joe Staley, Demarius Thomas, Akeem Talib, ice up, son, Vernon Davis, Darren Sproles, and Cameron Wake. Dude, wouldn't that be a bitch if fucking Akeem Talib ends up getting into the freaking Hall of Fame before Steve Smith? What bullshit would that be, bro? Yeah.
You know the bad part about this is it's gonna be hard for Steve to get in next year.
Yep.
I've
It's gonna be hard.
Steve might not even have a way in this thing, man.
Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna say that Luke's gonna get in. If Megatron got in first ballot Hall of Fame, same amount of years, they were just as dominant in their position, and he got in.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
So Luke's gonna get in, and then you got Terrell Suggs. Adam Vinatieri might be the first kicker to get in first. First ballot Hall of Fame.
Vinatieri has to, I think, man. And
that dude made more clutch kicks than anybody. He beat us in the Super Bowl, didn't he?
And so, do you put Eli Manning in just because he won 2 Super Bowls?
I don't know. I'm up in the air. I'm up in the air.
He'll get in because of that. But when you take away that, his career stats, he's just an average quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that, I don't think Eli Manning was ever like. I don't know. He's a much luckier version of Daniel Jones, in my opinion. But I don't know. He's a man.
And he threw a shit ton of interceptions. I mean, one season he threw like 25 interceptions. It was like, bro.
But hey, Marshawn Lynch is probably gonna get in too, man. That dude used to manhandle.
Yeah, I think Marshawn Lynch is probably first ballot. I think Earl Thomas. Probably.
I don't know. Earl Thomas popularity kind of dwindled at the end there.
Yeah, at the end of his day, I remember that one play.
He started acting like a pure T fool.
Yeah, and was it Derrick Henry that just threw him around? One of those players just baptized him, bro. Just threw him off the football field. I don't remember what it was.
But I still remember Marshawn Lynch taking that linebacker and throwing him forward from the Saints. I was like, oh man, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. Dude, that's some pretty legendary people going in next year, man. But I don't know. I think how many people get in? Like, how many spots do they accept? 5 from the regular class, and then 2 from the seniors. Damn. So then, are the seniors in there? Oh no, this is the first time eligibles. Yeah, these are the first time eligible. Man. That's why this. So, and then you know what? As it goes further down, Steve Smith he needs to get in soon because it's going to be hard because you got Tom Brady coming up in 4 years. It's just going to get harder and harder. You got these people who are going to get in on the first go around. How long are you eligible for? Like, when is the cutoff for Steve Smith to make it? It's not a cutoff. It's just how he gets looked at is different. Like I don't remember how many years before you fall to the senior class. Did you ever see that clip of the one Dallas Cowboy player? And he got snubbed. I want to say I'm remembering this right. He had gotten snubbed on like his final year of eligibility for the Hall of Fame. And it showed him, he was sitting there with his family and he was all mad and pissed off that he hadn't gotten in. I swear I'm not remembering that. I'm remembering that right. I'm mad at this whole thing about it. It was like Andre Johnson over Steve Smith. Yep. Yeah, that's the dumbest shit in the world. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, Steve Smith played longer than he did, but Steve Smith was 5 or 6 inches shorter than him. Yep. Maybe like 30 or 40 pounds lighter than him, and did the same thing to grown men that he did to grown men. Johnson never won the Triple Crown, did he? Nope.
No.
Dude,
Johnson,
this
Johnson did he at a court with Finnegan.
That's
all he
I
did.
mean,
yeah.
I couldn't fathom it, man. Steve Smith has more yards than he does, more touchdowns than he does, a higher average by almost 1 yard,
and he beat up more people.
He's smaller.
And kicked ass, dude. That's what I'm saying. If Aqib Talib, which I don't think he will, but if he did make it in, I would be so upset, man. I would
Listen,
be so
if
upset.
if Aqib Talib makes it in before Steve Smith, I think we should put that video. Everybody should post that video of him getting owned by Steve Smith
make it go
online,
crazy
make it go
viral all over again.
I'm just like, come on now.
Yeah,
like he got manhandled
he got absolutely
by somebody
embarrassed.
smaller than him.
Yeah. Hey, let me welcome my man Daniel into the Friday Free for All. Daniel, what's up, dude?
What's going on, man? Doing all right?
Yeah, man, doing good. How about yourself? Hey, what are your thoughts on Julius Peppers entering the Hall of Fame? And do you think Luke will be a first ballot Hall of Famer next year?
Man, Julius, man, I'm stoked. I'm a big Tar Heel fan and obviously Panther fan.
Nice.
So I'm stoked, man. Julius, he's a beast. He's just a beast, you know. And I remember when he came back and I went to a training camp and he came over and signed my UNC flag and my helmet, my Panthers helmet. Really nice guy. I mean, really just down to earth, nice, but a giant, man. This guy, like, I mean, that's what I told my wife. I was like, you know, he's like a gentle giant, except when he's on the football field. You know, on the football field, he killed everybody. So I mean, that he definitely deserves it. You know, and as far as Kuechly, man, maybe I'm biased. You know, as a Panthers fan, maybe, but you know, I think he deserves it. You know, I think he gave it his all. That's how I measure. You know, someone is by how much of their heart they put out there. You know, like how much, and Luke gave it. He gave it all. You know, and that's
Luke,
to me,
Luke
like,
is the man. And listen, I would play him, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a copy strike if we play him. But the Cam Newton, have y'all been watching him? He's at the Super Bowl on Radio Row, and everybody's coming by. He's like, he did a short interview with Luke Kuechly, Greg Olsen, but he had Warren Sapp on the show, and Warren Sapp has been talking shit about Cam lately. That's been pretty fun to watch, man.
Listen, you know what pisses me off about this thing? Yes, okay, Cam called these people game managers, but at the end of the day, is it not true?
Oh, it's
Is it not true?
It's 100%.
A lot of the other players, not players, a lot of the media agreed with him. Quite many of them said they said that some of them said it was the way he said it, but he was right. They are.
I mean the way he said it.
Tom Brady was a game manager most of his career.
He said he was an elite game manager. And I mean, what everybody keeps taking this stuff out of context. He's not saying the dude is trash. He's just saying that he's not like a game changer. Like when we think about Josh Allen has that ball in his hand. He's going to change the game. We think of Patrick Mahomes. That's a game changer, man. Patrick Mahomes throws the ball when he's parallel with the ground.
I'll tell you, you know, what the problem with Cam is. The problem with Cam is that everybody, from the beginning, he's so Cam, you know, that everybody's just, they're waiting for him to say something to take it out against him. They've always done that. Like, they're just waiting for him to say something to just bring it out against him somehow. So everything that he says, even though it's right, they're just going to bring it out as negative and just talk bad because it's what they've always done.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. And people get mad. They just compare the career of Cam to the players that he's talking about. But look, when you stand next to Cam Newton, you're aware why he thinks he's on a different level. Dude,
yeah, man. It's just
built like a defensive end, man. You're either born like that or you're not. You're either born with a body like Shaq or you're not. You're either born with a body like Julius Peppers or you're not. You know, you're born with those intangibles or you don't. And
hey, look, he said Andre Johnson was a beast. Hey, man, I just want to know, Andre Johnson was a beast, but Andre Johnson did nothing special because he was a large man. He was a large man. Steve Smith did the exact same thing to grown men that he did, and he's 5'9", 180 pounds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Andre Johnson was not that special.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna take Steve Smith's side because I mean I'm only 5'7", so you know I'm with the little club. So I like.
Did somebody just say that Suggs was better than Luke?
Who?
Terrell Suggs was better than Luke?
Oh my God! What is this dude smoking?
Crazy,
bro. He's on some.
Nobody ever said Terrell Suggs called their play out during the game right before they snapped the ball. Nobody ever said that about you.
Hey, did that
That's a stupid comparison. That's like saying that. That's like saying in reality. It's like saying that Javion Clowney is better than Patrick Lewis because they play two different positions.
Yeah.
There's two different positions.
Did that original list?
They got linebacker on them. Use your brain. It's called one plays edge rusher, the other plays inside linebacker or middle linebacker.
Hey, did that list I just showed have Clay Matthews on it? I didn't remember reading that name, but this
I don't
one
think it did.
No, this one has Clay Matthews.
Yeah, Clay Matthews is in there too. I saw.
Damn, that's another big name, man.
You know, but the thing about it is, what happens is there's too many linebackers up here. Only one of them is going to probably get in. And in all actuality, I don't care what anybody says, Terrell Suggs is a great outside linebacker. Clay Matthews a great outside linebacker. But when players tell you that Luke would be on before the play, tell them exactly what they were going to do and bust through the line and kill whoever was in the backfield.
Yeah,
I don't care what nobody says.
He was a comparison. He was like the predator on that football field, man.
Talk about
punch you down.
They really do. He was on NFL Network this morning. He's all over the place now. He when he shows up at a place, even like that where Cam stuff was, they flock to him.
Oh yeah.
They still people still want to know how he did it and why he's not a coordinator. They really do.
Yeah.
They say he just sat down and
I don't think he's a coordinator. The thing about it is that I think that you have to have I think that they're trying to make sure that these coordinators go through the ringer. You know, hey, you got to be a position coach, and I actually would think that's beneath. I think that's beneath him.
Yeah,
position coach. This dude was a defensive genius, man. He watched more tape than anybody else. Than anybody. They just said he used to be there for hours. He's like a quarterback of the defense. He's there for hours watching tape over and over again, man.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, in my opinion, that's what sets him apart from all these other linebackers.
Exactly.
The way that he studied the game.
Another thing is he's one of the only off-ball linebackers. The rest of them are more like edge rushers. Yeah, like Terrell Suggs, Clay Matthews. Like those guys are more edge rushers, man. I think that breed of linebacker.
And you know what? The thing about it is Terrell Suggs had the benefit of a lot of his career having freaking right next to him.
Yeah, Ray Lewis.
Lewis right next to him.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that Terrell Suggs did not benefit from a lot of. He learned from Ray Lewis. Lewis was
I guess a Ravens fan might say that Luke had Thomas next to him, which there is a degree of truth to that. But still, those are
But both of them were off the ball linebackers. Neither one of them were edge rushers. Both of them were off the ball linebackers, 100%. Sideline to sideline, and Luke led the charge.
Yeah, 100%. Go ahead, Nick.
I'm just saying, man. It's gonna be hard for me to tell anybody to tell me that Clay Matthews or Terrell Suggs is better than Luke. Kuechly. That's a hard sell for me. I mean, at the end of the day, they're basically defensive ends, like y'all were saying. And then two, I mean, this dude was a genius of football.
Did Terrell Suggs win the Super Bowl? I know Clay Matthews did, but Aaron Rodgers.
He was there during what you call last year, during Ray Lewis's last year.
Yeah. Okay. PJ, what say you, man? Is Luke Kuechly your first ballot Hall of Famer?
In my opinion, yeah, dude. Luke Kuechly is a first ballot Hall of Famer. The only issue I see is a lot of the Hall of Fame shit is a popularity contest.
Yep.
And unfortunately, like guys like Clay Matthews, which I liked when he played, you know, I had long hair the same time he had long hair, all that bullshit. He did the Pantene Pro V commercials, Herbal Essence, what the fuck else he did, bro.
Yeah.
But if it came down to the popularity, Clay Matthews would go in over Luke, and that shouldn't happen, in my opinion. But shit like that does happen in the NFL because the NFL is kind of fucky.
Do you really think Clay Matthews was a bigger name linebacker than Luke? I mean, Luke had, anytime we would even go to an away stadium, they would have away fans going, Luke! Like, it was a pretty big deal, man. I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. This is going to be tough. And just being real, y'all let me know if you disagree. I think as time goes on, it's going to get harder and harder for Steve to make it. Like, they're going to need a down year with not a lot of notable entries before Steve is able to slip in there, man.
And that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate, man. I hate that. Completely. Go ahead, dude.
They just got wide receivers kind of backlogged to go into the Hall of Fame, and a lot of it's positional value, if you will. I know Panther Pickle doesn't like that term very much because they tend to put the quarterbacks in first, and then the receivers kind of get ignored or pushed to the wayside. When the NFL used to be predicated on the running back anyway, as far as leading the offense down the field, and as far as the linebackers positions, like we were talking about, and Kuechly getting in, you know, I don't think Snuggs was able to elevate his defense the way that Kuechly was. Kuechly was able to elevate the players around him and not only his play himself. I don't know that Snuggs ever did that per se, being an edge rusher. And a lot of the edge rushers, you don't say that they elevated the players around him. But as a middle linebacker and captain of the defense, that would be my argument on why Kuechly should get in next year, Cody.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, man. Dude, there's so many good conversation points around this. I'm just hoping that Steve can make it in one day. I think Luke is capable of making it in, and I think he's like a dying breed, man. Like, I think that off-ball linebacker, with the exception of a few, right? Like, you have the Warner guy, Fred Warner, who plays for the 49ers. He's really damn good. Roquan Smith is a really damn good off-ball and inside linebacker, but it's almost like a lost art these days, man. Like the type of linebacker that could do it all from the middle, big, strong, fast, similar to what I was saying with Julius Peppers earlier, that they just check every single box playing inside linebacker. Like, to me, those days are almost kind of donezo. So it's like, it's even more nostalgic. It makes you want it for him even more. So
yeah, I agree.
Man. Straight up. All right, look. So we were talking about this morning, and I felt like it was the perfect conversation to bring to the Friday free for all chat room. Get involved. Everyone on the panel get involved. Who is a more important off-season re-signing for the Carolina Panthers? Is it Frankie Luvu or is it Brian Burns? Y'all let me know.
Luvu.
Damn. Unanimous, man. Unanimous. So y'all tell me why. What are the reasons why you would prioritize Luvu over Burns?
Because one, he's a dog. And two, we don't need a player who's going to sell out because he's not under a long-term contract. I'm sorry. I cannot get, and you've had, in the type of money that he wants is tier 1 defensive end money, and he's pushing just barely tier 2.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, who fears Brian Burns on your offensive line? Obviously, tight ends don't. Because tell me this. Let me tell you this. We put any tight end, I don't care whether it's Travis Kelce, I don't care whether it's freaking Kittles. You put either one of them on Myles Garrett. What's happening?
Oh, dude, they're getting dominated.
They're getting owned. They're getting owned. Cooked.
I don't know, man. I've seen. Hold on. Didn't George Kittle pancake one of the? He pancaked Aiden Hutchinson in that NFC Championship.
Aiden Hutchinson. I said Myles Garrett. Aiden Hutchinson ain't on the same level as Myles Garrett.
Neither is Brian Burns. So why we bring up Myles Garrett?
I'm just saying we brought Myles Garrett up because we were saying we saw tight ends stop Brian Burns from getting in the backfield. That doesn't happen to elite.
TJ Watt. So like I've seen y'all gotta realize though that's like just a play out of the game though. Like the whole team wasn't on shit, not just Brian Burns. Like it's not like Brian Burns just had one fluke year in year 4, in my opinion. That's all. I just feel like the players you bringing up to degrade Brian Burns can go for a lot of other players who just put up better production and statistics because they're in a way better situation with more talent around them. I'm not saying Brian Burns is perfect.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Who other than
serious actually? Yeah.
TJ Watt is a monster.
Yeah, he is a monster. You know what else?
Brian Burns is not.
Hold on. What you don't know about TJ Watt is he gets used around rotationally like he's getting schemed up like an offensive player, but on defense, bro. What you didn't know is that he gets the most one-on-ones out of any top 10 pass rusher in football, bro. He gets more one-on-ones than Brian Burns. That's why
Aaron Donald has more. Aaron Donald has more sacks than Brian Burns, and Brian Burns is defensive end.
Wait, so JJ,
bro.
But JJ, so are you arguing in favor of Brian Burns as being more important this offseason for the Panthers?
Yeah, I still think he is our biggest. Whether we keep him or not, that's the biggest move we make this offseason. What do we do with Brian Burns?
I mean, my thing with Burns is he quits, and I've noticed it more than once. You know, like he misses tackles like crazy. He overshoots. He always overshoots does it and just quits after. Like he just quits. You know, and that's why I say, you know, when I see Luvu, man, I see that guy giving heart, and I'm a person that is all about heart. Like that's why I love Kuechly. You know, I love Peppers and all these guys because they have heart and they just continue. With Burns, I always see him quit. Like he gives that initial push and then after he just quits. And I'm like, man, where you at? You want top money and you just quit. Like you can't do that.
Wait. So what you're saying is when Brian Burns most of the time is out of the play, whenever he messes up or he doesn't successfully make the play and now he's out of position to not make the play, he doesn't continue to make the play or at least show the effort he's trying. I mean, like, bro, if you go watch around the league, that's most players. That's like
what I mean, not just it's not only that. What I mean,
he just got paid money, and I don't even like hating on a Buckeye, but it's the truth.
What I'm talking about is if you know, like his initial, like if they block him. Like he just doesn't even try to keep going. Like he's blocked and he just like quits. Yeah, I'm like you're not giving it your all, man. I mean, like I want to see something. Yeah. You want that top money? You got to show something.
Yeah, like
he doesn't want to get hurt. He doesn't want to get hurt.
Don't play football.
How many people?
I mean, that's solved the whole
Carolina
problem.
Panthers gave it their all this year.
But listen, let me ask you a question.
Frankie Luvu did.
3.5.
Do y'all feel like this is fair? Like we wouldn't mind seeing Brian Burns get paid and seeing him stay here. But it's when you get into the realm of paying him top 5 defensive end money,
no way.
Fans are like, all right, man, like what are we doing here? Like that's like I do think there's a case to be made that you need to see Brian Burns take over at the end of a football game in order to be that game record type of player. And I don't think it's unfair to say that he hasn't had that type of performance, man. Like he has no secondary maneuvers. And I continue to say that, like after you get hung up on the back foot and that offensive tackle has you in his grasp, There are extra moves that you can make to
Hold on.
get off and get around him. And I feel like Brian Burns never developed that kind of arsenal.
Who
And
was
that's
going to show him
disappointing.
though? Who was the Hall of Fame pass rusher that was already on Carolina for him to develop under? Nobody. He had to do it all himself. And y'all keep talking about just like his effort, bro. Nobody tried this year. We saw him give full effort in his
Yeah, that's true.
and he was a primary pass rusher for us that year. And I've never said, Cody, I've never said he's a top tier edge rusher. He's a complimentary guy on a championship team, in my opinion. But it's just, you have Brown, you have Burns. Your D line is halfway built, bro. You get some players, you draft accordingly. Maybe you hit a home run, you get a guy better than both of those guys on the D line now. You got a whole D line that's gonna win you football games. And that's really why I want to keep Burns.
The problem is he wants to get paid like top 5, and he's not.
He gonna
Here's what I would do. Here's what I would do. I would tag Burns. I said before I would tag to trade him, but if my head coach
So the non-conditional tag
could sit there and have a conversation with Brian Burns, and Brian Burns tells them that he really wants to be here, and he's willing, hey, unless I get a blockbuster deal, I would keep him on the franchise tag and see what I got. Because there is, and nobody, JJ knows how anti-Burns I am.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to let the head coach and the GM make that decision because they there. Because you might Brian Burns might bullshit other people. I doubt seriously he gonna bullshit Dan Morgan. Because
hey, I want to say this one thing.
We'll let him do one more deal or play on the franchise tag, then so be it. Now, if Burns wants to take a $23 million deal with something I would give him, that's fine. He's not an elite pass rusher. And I have issues. A lot of issues with him. Let me tell you what, and maybe it's just my age, maybe because I'm 57, but when you got a guy that quits, I'm done with your ass. Don't quit on me and then come and knock on my door and tell me you want a pay raise.
Well, the fact that
hold on. All right, I got a good question for you. Then I got a good question for you for your 57-year-old ass. When you're at work, and you got 21 other people that you was attached to do an assignment for, and you realize as soon as 1 week in, you not getting shit done because everyone sucks at their job. It's kind of hard not to quit when you know you ain't going nowhere, bro. It really.
Oh no, I don't live by that philosophy.
Listen, if you want to get paid,
that's horse. That you know what?
I don't care what everybody else doing. It's my money. I don't care about them.
Yeah.
And besides all that, Brian Burns was tasked to be a leader this year. A leader don't wait for somebody else to show him how to lead. A leader grabs that rope and said, "Hey, bitches, follow me. This is how you get it done." A leader walks on the field, takes over the game, rips the quarterback down, look at the ref and say, "Throw that flag, bitch. Throw that flag."
Get it.
Next play.
I didn't.
And he's showing that, hey, you need to give me that check because I'm that kind of guy.
Hey, yo, come through, man. Yo, we need more Burn supporters up here, man. If you want to come through, come through. But
I mean that. If you're wanting to get paid to like top 5, you don't quit. Like, I don't care what the team is doing. You show that you're worth it.
Yeah.
Hey,
more players. I want to say this: more players get hurt BSing around than they do when they play at their full potential. So I just want. So at the end of the day, that was a red flag for me. 2, I want to say this.
Is that an adamant fact? Can you prove that?
Or was it because he already gave 110% effort and didn't get paid for it?
Hold on.
Gave up because the fucking team sucks.
Hold on,
he's not
JJ.
getting
Let
paid
me
regardless.
I mean,
let me give my man an intro. First off, shout out Troy Steele in the chat says
Y'all logic just
stop the
don't make
player
sense.
hate. He isn't Ray Caruth. Damn, we're not saying he is, bro. And then let me welcome my homie from the Black Cat Panther Podcast. Y'all didn't know I moonlight as a lawyer sometimes. Just
Yes,
one
sir.
of my clients. It's my man Poppin'. What's up, dude?
What's good? Which I had to chime in on this conversation.
Come on
I
in with it.
own finally Julius Peppers, Hall of Famer. He took plays off too, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all got to stop the cap. Like, and then you want to talk about? Hold on, listen. I see you with the big old eyes over there. Chill out. Luvu was ranked 13 for outside linebackers. So, and Brian Burns is ranked 12. So they complement each other. You really don't want to lose neither one of them. And this is another thing. Brian Burns is 24. Lulu's 27.
okay.
So I'm just saying, like, so
yeah,
that time,
but
So
wait, let me ask Pop. Hold on, Pepper. Let me ask Pop this though. When everybody says, "Oh, well, Julius Peppers, he took plays off too," so we can't get mad at Brian Burns. But my thing is this: has Brian Burns proven to be on the destructive level as a Julius Peppers? Because I really think there's a real gap between.
Hey, Cody.
No, hold on. No, what I'm trying to say, Cody, is that we holding him to the fire because just because Julius Peppers didn't come out and say it, we watched it. He took plays off. You know, we knew he took plays off. But just because he was on to say, hey, I knew I didn't have secure money in case I got hurt. You know, I was scared. I mean, I'm not mad of a person I was scared that I might get hurt. You know what I mean? I ain't like, look.
Bro,
It is what it is. Listen, ain't nobody saying that we want to lose Burns. I mean, we want to keep him. Obviously, I mean, we would love to have him, but want to be paid top five.
I think the best. You don't know it. We don't know that.
But why did y'all say that we don't know that? Like, if
they offered him 23.
Wait. But Pop, okay, if
maybe he wanted 25. Would y'all be mad if he wanted 25?
But if he didn't get paid in
No,
that
that's fine.
echelon, like why didn't the Panthers pay him then? If we think that he didn't want top 5 money,
Scott Fitter's a dumbass.
I really don't believe in Scott Fitter when it comes to his negotiation skills or Amir Suleiman. I'm so glad both of them are gone. Y'all don't even know he might have turned down the deal because maybe it was a 3-year deal and he wanted a 4-year deal. It might have been the amount of money. It might be the amount of years. It's so many intricate things you can look at it from. So just what I'm saying, think outside the box. Don't stick on one thing. But what I am tired of that Carolina Panthers don't do is keep your good players. Because just like our Hall of Famer, he went and played somewhere else because we didn't pay him. And you can't sit here and argue me like, oh, Peppers wasn't a good player. Say I'm lying then.
Oh, no, you can't. You're right about that, man.
Okay. And we have a habit of doing the same damn thing. We never play our players.
I want to know this.
We offered Peppers the money, though.
So,
we
know this.
Up the bag. Go ahead, Nick.
I want to know this. So you say he's 12th in outside linebackers, but the number one stat that we care about for Brian Burns, he was 37th on the list. 37th on the list this year.
Let me ask you this question.
And let me tell you this. And a 12 and a half sack 1 year is a one-trick pony.
So let me.
You know what's crazy about that? Hold on.
Let me rebuttal you real quick.
You know what the worst pass rush performance was this NFL season? It was the Panthers versus the Chicago Bears because Brian Burns was out. Take that with a grain of salt, gang.
Now let me rebuttal that.
He has no help.
Let me rebuttal that. Isn't your coach supposed to put you in the best position to win, right? Now, how many defenses have Brian Burns played on? How many defense coordinators has he played under? He's played in the 3-3-5. He's played in the 4-4-3. Now he's played in the 3-4. Now you expect him to be Superman. Now, if your wife says, "Hey, you know what? I want you to go for 8 hours today, and then tomorrow I want you to go 16 hours, and then the next day I want you to go 13," it's bro. How much do you want him to do?
She better buy them.
What if
I just want him. I want him to be what he thinks he is.
And see, you're acting just like, not to call you a woman, but you're reminding me of what women do. They're never going to be satisfied, no matter how much somebody asks you to do. You're never going to be satisfied.
I mean, what do you want me? What do you satisfied
Go
by?
ahead.
Top right. I don't know your
Listen,
name.
one.
What's
Let
your
me say
name?
this.
Go
Let
ahead,
me
say
say
it.
this.
Go ahead,
All
say
y'all
it.
talking about this whole 3-4 thing. He came from a 3-4 defense in the college.
Okay.
He
And then
came from a
what?
3-4, so
And then what
he
happened
was
to
an
him?
outside
What happened to
linebacker.
him
So
his
he.
first? What
And no,
happened to
wait a
his
minute.
first?
Hang on.
What happened to his
Wait.
first year? His
I
first
have
year,
to
he was
clear
a
that
gunner
up.
on special teams.
I have to clear that up because it was said on one of our pods that he came from a 3-4 defense, and I was fact checked that I was wrong. It was indeed a 4-3 defense that he ran at
Florida
at
State.
Florida
FSU
State.
at
I was
Florida
just about to
State.
bring it
So
up.
it was a 4-3.
So
Hey, I do
once
want
again,
to mention
my
though,
man, you're
when it
wrong.
comes to these contracts, though, y'all got to remember, especially a team like Carolina, where we're just building. When we pay players, it's not really what they've done; it's what they're gonna do. Y'all got to
There you
remember
go.
that. Like, just because he hasn't yet gone off and had 15 sacks doesn't mean in the next 4 years he can't have a 16 sack season. He can't have a
But
17 sack
but
season that
everybody
makes
else
you
in his. But the other.
validify the whole contract. When
But
you
the
get into the
other.
playoffs and you just have multiple players like a Brian Burns, that's when they come in. That's when they come in handy, bro. It's more so about collecting those good players. Yeah, he hasn't done everything under the sun, but like a part of that is because we haven't helped him do everything under the sun.
But
Don't nobody
hold
got to
on,
help Nick
hold on.
Bosa get sacks.
You got the business on there.
You're a
You
liar.
told me that.
You're
You
a
know that.
liar. D'Amico Ryan schemed up half of Nick Bosa's sacks last year, bro. Steve Wilkes came around town, and all of a sudden, he can't even sniff a defensive player of the year. What
Right.
are we talking
And
about?
he got paid all that money. But I know
Correct me
what?
But he still got double digit sacks.
Let me
He still
shout out
got double
D'Amico real
digit
quick.
sacks.
Did you just say that
Because
you
he's
paid
on
them
the
top money and hope that they do good?
Is Brian Burns not getting 10 sacks on the Niners? Go ahead and lie. Go ahead and lie.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Not with tight ends. Not with tight ends can stop him.
That was a good point.
Some of y'all are talking out of one ass cheek and eating it up with the front side of your ass. Because one person says that Frankie is 13th and Burns is 12. I think that's what you said, or in that range. So they complement each other.
They're both
Then the
they're
other
both
one
in tier
says,
2.
yeah, and then the other one says that Burns ain't got no help. Which is it? He either got help or he ain't got help. Because if Frankie's the help, and let me ask y'all this anyway. Frankie played inside
I never
and
said
outside
that.
this
I never
year.
said he never had help.
He played inside most of the year because Wichita got hurt.
Okay, but and Frankie
Then I
played
want to make a
inside
point when you're done,
linebacker and
Pickle.
outside linebacker.
Yeah, I got something.
Now, not count Brian Burns. Do y'all not think that if Frankie could play just outside linebacker, he'd be a better linebacker or an edge rusher if he just played outside? They didn't ask him to play inside and outside.
I wanted to make the point though, like to JJ and Pop and saying, okay, we never really put anyone around him. Like, yeah, you had to sign Reddick for 1 year, and yeah, Reddick was better, but again, changing schemes, changing personnel. My thing is this though: don't you have a lease on the amount of time that you have to get the most out of a player? Like, hey, I understand that Brian Burns has not gotten all the service that you would want for an elite defensive player, but at the same time, like that hourglass has run out.
Okay, Cody.
I got a
good point right here, and I'm about to solidify this. The reason why I'm so stuck on utilizing Brian Burns correctly is I would really love for the Carolina Panthers to have their next own Cam Jordan, man. In my opinion, Cam Jordan has been one of the most underrated edge rushers over the past decade, consistently giving you 10 sacks and above and on a very well-rounded contract. I mean, like, he never gets talked about, but he just helps them build out the rest of their defensive line because now you're not busy replacing Cam Jordan. You just got him under contract. You kept him there. And I bet you no Saints fan ever regretted paying that man, no matter how much they gave him. So, also, my friend in the top right, I know I was getting heated there for a second, but I don't know your name, so I figured I'll bother you for it.
That's Nick.
Nick? All right, what's up, Nick?
Listen, listen. If we keep him, we keep him. But at the end of the day, you can't put him in the same category as Cam Jordan because he's not that. And at the end of the day, all I'm saying is this: he's a speed rusher, and that's all he is. That's all.
Okay, cool.
He ain't got no other moves. He ain't got no other tricks.
I'll give you another example, Nick. How often you remember that song, My Girl? Talking about my girl. My girl. Okay, you remember that? I bet you don't walk around and see another man with another woman like, damn, I wish that was my girl. That's how the Panther fans act. We have our own pass rusher. He is not like anybody else. But guess what? My girl is not like everybody else. Yes, there's going to be some deficiencies. Yeah, he may not be the best. But guess what? He's mine. Pause on that. Major pause.
Yeah,
But you get
major
what I'm saying?
pause.
Major pause. When we
Pause.
have something that's ours, we are so willing to give it to somebody else and let them ball out somewhere else. It pisses me off with the shit. You get rid of them, guess what you're going to get? Shit.
You're kind of wild for that one, Pop. But we had the opportunity to do this though. Like now you're at the final year of his deal. You have to franchise tag him, and we don't even know if he's going to play under the franchise tag.
Listen, there's several other flawed people on our damn team that we can get it off and give him his money. I'm sorry, we don't need no Bozeman here. We don't need no D-Jack here.
I mean, listen.
There's so many other players I could get rid of to get this man his money and go out
But
and
yeah,
go
what is
draft
the
in the free agency. But there ain't no Brian Burns in this draft. There ain't no Nick Bosa in this draft.
If he takes 25, okay. But I mean, I'm not willing to pay this guy more than that. And
so who you gonna replace
on
him with?
hope,
24
on
though.
hoping.
Why not?
Who are you gonna replace him with?
Because you're just hoping though. It's hoping, and if he doesn't ball out, and then what? Then what do you do? You just paid him all this money.
Why? Oh, y'all piss me off with this shit.
It's all on hope. Because you don't know. You don't know if he's gonna ball out or not. You don't know. I mean, you just can't. You can't listen. As a business owner, I can't go and make a bet on somebody and pay them all this money. Man, I hope you pan out. And if they don't, I just lost all that money.
What? I don't fire not one employee who does that damn job.
No, I mean, and that's
an investment.
We're
the Carolina Panthers, bro.
You want
it's time
to keep
to invest.
YGM?
We ain't been good. Like I don't understand why people are so surprised.
Investing on a person hoping that they do good is not a good investment.
Hey, can I say this one thing? Can I say this?
That's how the NFL works.
This has nothing to do with
what they done in the past. If it was me, and I know I'm gonna get back on subject, you pay the person what they've already done. That's how the NFL works. It's not about like your personal.
Yes, what have you done for me lately, Lee?
I know.
Exactly.
I know Luvu is worth top $11 million, and I know we can pay him, and we can also pay Brian Burns if all they have to do is maneuver through the cap. New Orleans Saints do it every freaking year. There should be no excuses why they can't get this job done. But hey, if y'all got a better player that y'all can get rid of Burns to go get, who's gonna get you the same amount of sacks, that's just as young, who's gonna be here just as long, please show them to me. Because I'm with it. I do not agree to firing somebody who actually goes out there and do their damn job, where everybody else sucks other than Derek Brown and Luke.
But if you had one of your employees, Pop came and he's just a basic employee, and then he's consistent, but he wants managerial type money. He wants big dog money. And again, I know you'll come back and say, oh, but we don't know that Brian Burns wanted that. It's like, I mean, I feel good enough assuming it, because if he wanted just, 23, 24, I really don't think even Federer or Suleiman would have had a problem paying him. I think once we get north of 26, 27, then it's like, bro, we're going to be eating up so much of our cap, and we need more pieces, and we need draft picks. It's like it's a bridge too far at that point.
There's only 3 people you need to pay, Cody. Now that's what I said about. That's why you're only paying Luvu, Derek Brown, and Brian Burns. Those are the only 3 you're paying. You don't pay nobody else. Who else you need to pay? Who else?
We still need more pieces, though. I mean, they're going to look at free agency.
That's why you draft and you go through free agency. But even in free agency, if you go look at free agency, none of those guys that's up there are you going to want. They're like 35 years old. I've already looked this shit up.
Well, let me ask you this.
Top dollar.
Because this kind of goes to a similar conversation, right? Because we want. Hey, someone has a echo in the background. Pause your microphone. But another question I was wondering too about is like, what are the defensive positions that we're most in need of? Because I think we would all like Burns and Luvu to come back, but people want a wide receiver in free agency. Some people want a tight end in free agency. Yeah, we need another defensive end, like we've been saying. We need another, or an edge rusher rather, to complement Burns. We need another linebacker. Dante Jackson, people are kind of out on. There's no more CJ Henderson. So do you go out and get a Yari Alexander, who's going to be a free agent, and he's from the Charlotte area, to come play corner? That's going to cost some money. You're going to have a certain amount of dollars that you're going to have to spend.
Yeah, that's the problem. We need everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We do, and when a team needs so much, can you afford allocating $30 million or whatever it would be to pay Brian Burns when you need so many other things, man? And I'm gonna be real. I prefer that we would be working on Derek Brown's contract more than Brian Burns. We should shore up Brown earlier and pay him before the defensive tackle market goes through the roof.
I got a quick answer for that.
All right.
For you, Cody.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. Well, one question is: are we going to the Super Bowl in the next 3 years? Probably not, right? Probably not. Probably not.
Probably.
Right?
Okay, probably.
So everybody can take their seatbelt off and recline their chair and relax. The next 3 years, you build through the draft. Because the year after next, you're going to have money. You have lots of money. You're going to be in like in the top 5 with the cap space. Take your time and stop trying to have these instant grits and have real grits.
In 3 years, we can find
something that can stick. Now, if you do it that way like other organization does, then you build something that's sustainable.
Yeah.
Not this quick fix shit. This quick fix shit gets us right back where we at, 2-15. Losing another player, trading this. They do not do good already drafted. If you believe in them that much, you're tripping because they don't draft well.
They don't.
They don't.
That's true.
So you better keep who you got, pay them.
But we can't say that we don't know how which guy's going to draft.
Yeah, Dan Morgan.
He's not been part of the draft.
Hey, I want to say this. I want to say this. Everybody keeps telling them to tag him with the non-exclusive franchise tag and to try and to see if he can get paid somewhere else. Nobody did that with Lamar last year. Nobody's going to do that with Brian Burns. Who's going to give up 2 first-round picks for a defensive end who you don't really think is worth 2 first-round picks?
You're not. You might get 2 seconds. You might get a second and third, but you're not getting the 2 first no more.
Hey,
yeah.
Can I
So the non-exclusive tag is not going to work.
I think.
Hey, let me get Anthony back in here. Ant, go ahead.
What's up? No, I just want to add piggyback off Pop's point real quick. Like what he's been saying about this quick fix stuff is what I've been preaching for 3 seasons now, man. Like we like for example, I'm not a fan of this team, but obviously I've seen them play and stuff over the years. The Charlotte Hornets, right? What they did yesterday was they finally decided they're going in a rebuild, which is what they should have done years ago, right? You pick a path and you go all in on that. We need to go all in on the rebuild now. Who cares if we're going to suck for more years? We've already been bad. So like to the point, like, yeah, you can go out, you can spend a little bit of money. Like if T. Higgins isn't willing, if some of these guys are too expensive, then yeah, you can still settle for a guy like Calvin Ridley here and there and pay those type of guys. But like reality is we are going to have like top of the top in cap space in 2025. That's when you can really, really like bring in serious guys to build around this roster. And like Pop said, man, we're going to be bad no matter what. Even if you think like we got to stop thinking like how Matt Rule did in company and same with Frank Reich. Like we don't have the actual roster to compete. Like we got to stop making it seem like this roster is better than it is. And I think that's the biggest issue. Like we got to suck it up, accept the fact we're going to suck. And that way we're not going to get burned by this coaching staff or burned by, the expectations of like, oh, well, I thought we were supposed to make the playoffs this year. But when you really dig into it, like if you really dug into it, and then I'll pass the mic. If you really dug into it these past years, you could really see through the roster and be like, this is not a winning team. This just isn't. No matter what the coaches told you in the past, or no matter what kind of analysts are trying to tell you, most times there's obviously surprise teams, but most times it's pretty easy to see if your team is actually ready to seriously compete. And that's all I got to say.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
One more thing I want to add on to the other problem, Cody, is remember when I talked about the years? If Brian Burns is 24 years old, right, and he says, I want a 3-year deal, they're like, no, we want to give you a 5. That might be a problem because he's like, look, I want to get paid twice in this franchise so I can double up my money. I just got off my rookie deal. I didn't make a lot of money right there, but now I want to re-up 2 times while I'm here. So by the time I'm 35, I'd have had 2 big contracts. That might be something else that he's negotiated. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we got to think deeper into the box. But if you really want to fix this team, you take the time and build it over for the next 3 years because we're going to suck. That's just it.
Okay.
That's point blank.
And the schedule's hard next year, gentlemen. I mean, we got KC coming to town, Cincinnati, Dallas. We got to go on the road to Philly. Like, it's going to be a hard schedule. It's going to, unless Dave Canales is just a wizardry at the X's and O's, like.
We'll beat them all, Anthony.
Oh, yeah. That same mentality from last season, JJ. Yep. But
any given Sunday.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my God! In all seriousness, man.
We got Bryce Young, man. We got year 2 Bryce Young.
Yeah, that's right.
Watch out,
Bryce is gonna slay them all.
Well, keep living in that fantasy world.
I thought Bryce Young was the truth, Anthony.
Yeah, he can't. Listen, I'm praying. Listen, man, I really think Bryce Young can still have a good season, but that doesn't mean necessarily that the rest of the roster is going to be good enough to win a serious amount of games, man. I mean,
I want to adjust the question to this. What is the biggest position of need on the defense going into the end of the season this year? Pickle, this was your recommendation, so you let me know first.
Middle linebacker.
What did?
You need a captain of defense to line up and direct traffic, scout to be able to spot things. We haven't had a solid, even an average solid middle linebacker since Luke retired. And no, I don't want to hear none of this Shaq Thompson bullshit. Shaq Thompson is a outside linebacker who stops the run in a base 4-3. That's all he ever was before TD and Luke left, or before TD and Luke left. That's all he ever was. That's where he played on all the special teams units. And even then, when Luke went out, he didn't back up Luke Kuechly at middle linebacker. Somebody else did.
What would you do? What would you do to address it, Pickle? Would you draft, or would you?
I would draft one with a 33rd pick if I had to.
So you guys know if we had the same scouting people, like same scouting department.
Mm-hmm. Answer that. I want you to answer. I've got a very good response that nobody in anywhere I've been has been able to answer me. But everybody keeps referring to the scouting department. How do you know if Scott Fitterer didn't listen to nobody, right?
I got no idea.
Well, he didn't listen to anybody. So what makes you think he listened to his scouts? If Cody watches film all day long about a wide receiver and he picks the best wide receiver that will ever play professional football.
But I mean,
Morgan calls him up and say, "You're my scout. Who do I need to draft?" And Cody tells him, and he gets up and calls Sub Yoho because he heard it on ESPN. That
what was I supposed to do?
So what?
But I mean,
Luke Kuechly used to be in the scouting program for the Panthers. Why did he quit? Because nobody listened to him.
He didn't like Matt Rule.
I mean, and that could be true. You know, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know, but I mean, that's why my question was, because I mean, I don't know if it was just veteran.
I've heard people refer to the scouts. Why we ain't firing the scouts? You don't fire scouts traditionally. Traditionally, you don't fire scouts until after the draft. In my opinion, no matter how much little it is, in my little tiny opinion, we'll know after the draft. If Dan clears out the draft scouts, then that tells me that he believes otherwise. But
Fair enough. Yeah,
I mean,
fair enough.
I've heard.
I think
I've
we still
heard
got the
enough.
same scout. I think we got the same scouting staff.
Yeah, they
I think-
nobody
Yeah,
usually.
I
That's
think-
that's
I-
right.
I-
Pick is right though on that one.
Let
They
me play
never
devil's
usually find
advocate.
the.
right. I mean,
Let me
Go ahead.
Because I mean,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, the talent that we picked out last year, well, these past few years, that it's been crazy.
Have you heard? Have you heard that? Well, I've heard that there were some of these folks Dan did not want, but he's just the assistant, and nobody listens to the assistant.
In some of those videos, he does not look very excited when they
At
call
all.
the player that they're looking to draft.
Right.
I agree with Pickle. We definitely need a linebacker. But if I had it my way, I would probably be back in a 4-3. But
Well, I agree with that.
I want another edge. I want another good edge rusher, man. So you got Derrick Brown in the middle. You got Brian Burns on the other side.
Thank
You got to have some pressure on these quarterbacks. They're sitting back there way too comfortable. And I don't need Luvu to play out of position. I don't need him rushing the edge, be the edge rusher and an outside linebacker. I want him to play in space from sideline to sideline. I don't need him going up there and doing all that. Man, just get another elite edge rusher on the other side so we can have that front line solidified. You actually need somebody beside Derrick Brown, but I mean, hey, if I had to pick, I would say another top tier edge rusher, man.
I know we had this conversation last year, but what about like a Leonard Floyd or a Jadeveon Clowney who had good years this year? Would y'all consider
Honestly,
that?
I would rather spend my money on somebody like Bryce Huff, Jets.
Yeah,
edge rusher.
Bryce Huff is great.
Yeah.
But I want to ask this question real
Yeah,
quick.
we'll go Anthony's question and then I'm gonna introduce somebody. Go ahead.
So, in my opinion, man, what we need is the best player available that we could possibly get, rather in the free agent. Like, we just have holes everywhere. Whether if it's an offensive line, a middle linebacker, an edge rusher, choose your pick. But here's my question, and I've told many people, I've called into the show, I'm neutral about this front office. Whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna go into it with an open mind, but I have my doubts about it, right? But here's my question. I just want someone to answer this for me. Didn't you guys do the same thing with Matt Rule and Scott Fitter, and that's why Scott Fitter got a fair chance by the fan base as the GM, because everyone said he didn't make the moves. My only issue with Dan Morgan, and hear me out. I'm not saying he's going to be a bad GM. I haven't even said that yet. I'm just worried about the fact that we're doing this again. That, Dan had no control in anything, so we're going to give him a fair shot again. It does not that sound like what we did in 2022 with Fitter? Like, I'm just trying to be realistic here, man.
Yeah, but it's still not really the same thing, though. Like, I mean, look, I get what you're saying, but the fact that Matt Rule was here, like, we couldn't give Fitterer no credit for those 2 years as GM, even though Rule had the final say so. And then the year that he did have his say, every move he made was bunk, except for Adam Thielen. So, I mean, again, we've said this before. There's no way to tie the decisions to who and what coach wanted this player and what scout wanted this player. Like, it's impossible. Like, even the people that Pickle say he heard Dan Morgan didn't want, like, those might be credible rumors. They might not be credible at all. We just don't know, Okay. So
all I'm saying, and I get your point, I know it's different from that aspect that, Matt Rule had all the control, but I'm just saying, if this doesn't work out, then you can expect that he did have blood on his hands and he was guilty by association. That was my only reason why I wanted to look in a different direction at general manager and get someone who has a proven track record. And I'll stay by this fact. The best hire we made this offseason was Brant Tillis, because Samir Suleiman gave out the most they just didn't know what the hell they were doing in terms of signing players. So that's just my stance on it, man. I'm not saying Dan's going to fail. I'm not saying that. I hear you out, Cody. Trust me.
I absolutely agree with you, bro.
I want him to succeed. I just have my skeptications or whatever the hell about him.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean that first year with Matt Rule, I mean, you could kind of tell that it was Matt Rule. I mean, he got all his guys that he wanted. Like, I mean that, like
Hey man,
it wasn't.
yeah,
He just gave it. He just gave his opinion, and Scott Fitter just went with it.
yeah, man.
No, the first.
Hey, hold on, one sec, Pickle. Hold on, one sec. Let me. I haven't spoken to this man in a minute, man. I'm happy he's back on the show. Good to see him and hear from him. It's the homie Twan Don, the bad guy. What up, dude? Big Twan, what up? You muted.
Yo, what's up, bro?
What up?
What's up, all? How y'all doing today?
Chilling, man. Just having a free for all, you know. It's a
My
Friday,
brother
man.
Twan. What's up, gang? I had to
What's going on, bro?
apologize from that last time. I don't think you've been on since then, man. But yeah, you definitely right. I did cross the line last time when I told you. Yeah, you already know. But yeah, I wanted to get on your show one time and make that apology, but I don't know. I couldn't get around on there, but I'll try again here soon.
Yeah, it's all good, bro.
What's up, Twan, man?
Yo, what up? What up?
Hey, man, talk to me, man. He said, who talking to you, Twan?
No, I mean, I just joined. I don't know what y'all talking about tonight. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I
man.
just wanted to hop in.
I mean, really, we've been talking about everything, man, from Julius Peppers to the Hall of Fame. Right now, we've been talking about what is the most important defensive position that needs to be fixed or filled out in the offseason. And, like, what's the biggest defensive priority, pretty much? Pickle said outside linebacker. Poppins in here. He said another outside linebacker / edge. What say you, man? What do we need to fix on this defense?
Well, first of all, man, congratulations to Julius Peppers, bro. Like, I mean,
Yes,
it couldn't
sir.
happen to a better guy, a better legend. We got one, you know what I'm saying? And that's so incredible. I wish he had played his whole career with us, but you know how it goes. I'm gonna go a little different. I think with Jason Horn, with Horn constantly having problems with his injuries and not really knowing what we're gonna get out of D-Jack every year. I mean, I try to fix something with a corner first. You know what I'm saying? Get the absolute best corner we could get, and start there.
Yeah.
I think the defense is pretty good. You know, the way it is, anything can improve, but those corners, it's a question mark over even. I mean, as good as Horn can be, that question mark is always going to follow him, you know. And he's had 2 non-contact injuries. We don't know if he'll go out there warming up and get hurt. So,
Yeah.
I'm looking at corner.
Yeah. Hey, what about Yari Alexander for the Green Bay Packers, man, from the Charlotte area? He's going to be a free agent.
I looked on his contract, and he's not scheduled to be a free agent.
He's
Is
not?
there something I don't know?
What's up, Charlotte Sports One?
Is he not? Everybody's saying that he was eligible, man. Let me
Well,
get that.
I looked on over the cap, and it's not. He's just signed a big contract.
Yeah, he's still got one more year on his deal. And let me bring this up. You guys are missing a major component. We would love to have all these players, but do they love us back?
Yeah, but who does love us, man? No one loves us. Someone's gonna have to love us if we pay them enough.
I'm just saying, man. Like, sometimes you go through that girlfriend drought, man. That's just how
I
life
know,
is.
but man, one of these hoes gotta love us, Anthony.
Well, me and Cody, we suggested a guy in the draft last year that we was big on with the whole corner situation. I think it was Riley Moss.
Yeah. How did he do this year? Did he do okay this year?
It was decent.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't really.
It was decent. I mean, I think that we could have started there. Did we even get a corner in the last draft? I don't think we did.
We got Jamie Robinson at safety. That's not a corner though.
Yeah, no corners. We didn't touch the corners, and it's just like, but we knew our corners had issues, and then we saw that Tampa Bay game, you know, where we could have probably went to the Super Bowl, to the playoffs. I thought that was going to be the first thing they addressed.
Yeah. I mean, that would go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Twan, man. Obviously, good talking to you, bro. But like I've been saying, man, you, me, a bunch of us are probably better scouts than how this team's been, man. Like the players we be pointing out in the pre-draft, like actually turn out to be some solid football players, man. So,
well, what I see going on now with the Carolina Panthers, and like I've been privy to it because I've seen it up close playing college football, is it's what they call it. They call it the tap on the ass syndrome, bro. Like where somebody's ass got to get tapped, and when guys get together and they decide who they want to pick on teams or whatever, it's just complete politics. And who's owed a time when it's time to bring somebody in. And unfortunately, most professional teams don't keep fans in mind when making these selections. Because, when you look and see what fans are asking for and looking for, as long as it's not crazy, I mean, it's not hard. It's not bad to look at that. But so many places where people get paid to do jobs where they don't know what the fuck they're doing, even in sports, they're so arrogant that they won't try new things or they won't look in new directions. It's just like I just said, like older coaches, the NFL is tired of the older coach thing. I knew Belichick wasn't gonna get no damn job. It's you got to start changing with the times sometimes and be willing to go. Let's start looking at these young guys, you know what I'm saying, and their ideas and what they want. Not all young guys play Madden all the time, you know what I'm saying? But, it's just like that old man is just stuck in his ways, and that's the NFL. And it's like some things are changing, but some things are the same that we never get to see and don't know how they break down. And I think we're starting to see it with the coaches, bringing in more younger coaches. I wanted a younger coach.
Well, I heard people
probably
say
didn't want Canales, but
Hey,
I'm not upset with him either.
Pickle, take over hosting duties for a minute for me. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah, I heard people saying first that Belichick would get a job, and he was correct.
Yeah. I just didn't think he was, and I had heard way before it ended that the friction with the Titans front office. So I figured he would get cut or he would get fired. So, but he didn't get hired nowhere either, and that kind of surprised me. So,
yeah, but Pickle, this guy at his age,
yeah,
he still wants to be the head coach. He still wants to be the general manager, and he still wants to have a whole bunch of power. And it's just like that's just not done anymore.
Right.
And plus, you're older guy, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like instead of him, and this is what I mean about the politics and be willing to say to like start listening. Belichick is not willing to listen. He still thinks I'm the shit in his head, and it's just like, bro, it's not the same now.
You're right. You're right because I think if he would have been willing to give up the GM role and let somebody else scout and draft and sign contracts, maybe he would have got a job. But he didn't want to do all that. And I mean, I don't blame the Atlanta front office for talking the owner out of that. I really don't. Because I mean, you'll just be redoing it all in a couple of years anyway. Once we know what Bill wanted to do. So
well, can I tell you all what can somebody answer me this question? Where can Bill get all of that? Where can he get everything he wanted? He got to take his ass back. He got to go to college.
Well, yeah.
If he still really wants to coach, go try to coach for some big program.
I don't. I've heard from more than one coach that being a head coach in college now is like being a NFL head coach and NFL GM, and you also have to watch the kids and and right now I've heard it's more headache than it's worth from a lot of different, and I don't know that I believe all these, but There's several coaches. Chip Kelly, for example, or I don't know this is true. I heard it on Twitter, so take that for what it is. He quit being a head coach to go to a college and just to be an offensive coordinator because he didn't want to do the head coach duties anymore. It was too complicated. It's become with these NIL deals, it's become way too complicated financially for a lot of these coaches to deal with it. That's something the NFL is going to or the college is going to have to figure out. If not, they'll lose a lot of your coaches. Some of these coaches are good at coaching. They may not be good at numbers.
Guys, I could see Belichick getting that. Because some team's going to get desperate and somebody's going to want to make a name splash. I mean, it won't be a good team, but couldn't you see somebody like Arizona getting desperate and say, hey, we're going to bring in a big name, sell tickets?
But would Bill do that?
I think it depends on what his options are. It's like anything else in life. You got to kind of what your willingness is really determined by your options. I'm not saying that he'd happily do it, but I think that's a case where you can see him pop back up in somewhere like in Arizona or, a franchise like that, where they're traditionally bad and they need to sell tickets and they're desperate and they just need a name.
Right. But I had heard, and y'all help me out if I'm wrong, I had heard that the only reason why Bill wanted to coach for a couple more years was to break that record, and he won't get that record in college. So
exactly,
the records is probably over now.
He said he's not chasing that record, but we knew he was lying.
Yeah. How could he not?
Bullshit.
Yeah, he'd have to chase that record.
Yeah, I think he left. I think he peaceably left New England. He really thought he was going to get a head coach easy. He really thought he was going to walk in and they were going to hand him everything. And the days of a head coach being the own GM and the head coach is kind of dwindling. It's just more than a one-man show anymore.
And Pickle, from what I read,
there's a lot of teams hiring them co-GMs like we're doing. That's all debate.
And Pickle, from what I read, is that he necessarily wouldn't be demanded to be the GM, but he wants to bring in his guys. Like, you're going to start seeing like Scott Pioli and guys like that. His guys would be brought in with him.
But here's that works. I don't want to be the GM, but as long as you bring in everybody that listens to me, then okay, I won't be the GM. But as long as they listen to me, they're my guys and don't listen to me, then that's how that works.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just why as a GM would you agree to that? You're basically firing yourself.
I think that was part of the reason. I think that's part of the reason why some NFL teams wouldn't fuck with him. Yeah, it may not even been him. It was just like, bro, if you think you're just gonna bring Matt Patricia and all these other guys with you that have displayed horrible and can't win and get a win or whatever, then that's not us. So it depends on how badly he want them. That could have been a deal breaker.
That's exactly why the Atlanta Falcons didn't go with Bill Belichick, Twan. They didn't want to bring on a 72-year-old head coach who also had front office baggage and letting people go that they've had in that organization for a long time. Rather than making all those changes in the front office that Arthur wasn't comfortable with, they decided to go with someone that they were comfortable with, and that person was Raheem Morris. Raheem Morris has already been in Atlanta before and a head coach before, and he's worked with those people that were already in the front office. So rather than the owner trading out all those people that he's used to working with and talking to and interacting with, they went with a familiar face. And I don't really blame Atlanta in that situation. I think that's exactly what we did in our hire with Dan Morgan.
Yeah, Twan, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that no better. Yeah,
you said cornerback, and me knowing your size, you never played cornerback, and I know that how you build a team and a successful team is to build through the trenches. And you said cornerback?
Yeah, because
I mean, bro.
No. So the way the question was formed to me was like, what do you think we could get better at over on the defense, right?
Yeah, on this team, what is the biggest defensive position of need?
Yeah, nobody's afraid of our corner. Man, our corner, look, one guy can't stay healthy. Really, two of them can't stay healthy.
Yeah, I was about to say Dante can't stay healthy and JC can't stay healthy.
And the thing is, if we want to stop the pass game, which We didn't. I don't think we did. We didn't do that well this past year. We haven't been doing that well in a couple of
Hey,
years.
real quick, let me read out my money real quick, man. Nirvas with the $5 says I had no reason to believe the drafting would be any better under Morgan. You can't tell me he had no role in the picks made previously with the $5. And with another 5, he says he meant Morgan. If Morgan had no impact on the picks before he became GM, then what the heck was he doing? I mean, that's a good point. Most people have made this point too. You know what? yeah.
Well, I mean, I listen. I respect everybody's opinion, contrary to some of the folks on Twitter who believe I don't. But I do respect everybody's opinion. And listen, we're not there. If somebody in this room was a fly on the wall during the whole time that Spitter was up at GMing, I'm sure you'd have done opened your mouth already. Maybe not here, maybe on your own podcast, but you would have opened your mouth already. So, nonetheless, you know, there's questions we don't know, and
Pickle,
a lot
can I
of
ask you
this
a
is
question?
just shot in the dark. So,
Pickle, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Now, promotions, right? When you're promoting, you know how they like, hey, the Carolina Panthers are about to play the Jaguars, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, usually they're going to show the stars.
Right.
And if you get rid of your best players, right, and they show the offensive side, they're like, I don't want to say his name, but they're going to show Bryce Young, and then they're going to show Thielen. And then you go to the defense, it's just going to be Derrick Brown.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
But they're going to have
We ain't
3
got
other
nobody
guys on their side. But that's what I'm saying. You get rid of you talking about ticket sales? You talking about an empty, like a really empty stadium?
Right.
You talking about setting a awful taste in any other player that you get drafted after seeing Brian Burns get taken away? They already know what they're going to do after that 3 years. I'm going somewhere else. I'm a demand a trade because you don't pay nobody.
Yeah. There is no easy answers this year. I mean, you know, you look back in other years, and I'm going to go way back, but you go back in other years, you can say, if we just get this one guy, This year, it's not a one-guy fix. It's not a two-guy fix. It's not a five-guy fix. It's a whole bunch of fixes. And the fact is, we're not going to fix them all this year at all. And I doubt seriously we're going to fix them this year and this. A few months, I don't know, months ago, weeks ago, whatever it was, I made a comment on Twitter and I said, in my opinion, if we're drafting in top 5 next year, quarterback has to be on the list of could be drafted. I don't know that, but
hey, Pickle, there are some people, and they know who they are too. They want us to be in the quarterback conversation this year's draft.
Yeah, I'm
Cody,
100% aware of that.
What, Pop?
Yeah.
What I say, Pop?
No, you say nothing. I want to repaint that.
I'm one of them.
Imagine if C3 had a basketball team, or let's say they had a football team, right? And we traded away Cody, we traded away the professor, we traded away CK.
Oh, you ain't trading the big three away, bro.
What are y'all gonna show on TV when it's time for y'all to play?
Pickle.
Shit, Pickle.
It's just Pickle.
And these skills. The new guys got to step up.
JJ.
I'm glad you said that. So some of these guys got to step up that's already on the team that we
What you trying to say,
last year. No, what I'm trying to say is some of the guys that we had last year needs to step up that we drafted. Chandler Wooten, he's got to step up.
Yep.
We drafted him.
Pop said some of y'all are the B team out here. That's what Pop said.
That hurt, Pop.
I'm sorry. But I mean, when you got your Pro Bowlers and then all of them are just traded away, it makes you lose faith in the brand, in the team.
You're right. No, you're not wrong, man. After trading away DJ Moore, watching Christian McCaffrey win Offensive Player of the Year. Yeah, man. No, you're not wrong, man. It's
Josh Norman's. Julius Peppers.
Yeah,
I mean, I just hope. I hope
DJ Johnson, he has to step up.
I'm hoping
rookie year, but That's life in the NFL. Suck
He's
up and get over it.
Is that Nick?
Chandler Sabala.
Yeah,
What up?
yeah,
He had
Nick
a
was
rough
back.
rookie year. Suck up and get
Nick
over
be
it.
getting at it.
Step up
What
and
up,
keep
Nick?
playing Cody.
What's
And
good?
listen, last year, no, not last year, year before that, we drafted a linebacker in the 3rd round. And everybody wanted him to be something. This year we cut him. That may happen again. So just because you're drafted in the 3rd round don't mean you got a freebie for the next 4 years.
Right.
So they need to step up or they'll
Me
be out.
and Pop was discussing this some days ago. I don't remember what the day was, but the Brian Burns situation is complex. It's sad. This could have been handled a couple years ago when the Rams. I don't need to tell everybody about that. We know all about that. And then this man held out because they couldn't reach a number, and he did the right thing by his team by holding out. I thought he should have set out, but and a lot of people said Burns.
I threw a curveball in this.
Yeah.
What if it wasn't a number? What if it was the amount of years? Let's say he said
I
want a 3 year.
It could have been a 3 thing.
No,
it
we
could have been
5.
Yeah, it could have been total money. There you go. It could have been guaranteed money. It could have been the guaranteed money too. But what I do know is the dude said, I don't want to be a distraction. Let's start the season. I'm gonna do the right thing or whatever. And he did the right thing, which most players don't do these days. These days players is about their money. So he plays on the team. I'm putting myself in his shoes. If I get around that 8-week mark, and I reckon it's like 1-7 at that point.
Yeah.
And this is where the casual fan and where people who play the game or done something that like where it's kind of a clash in the middle. And then you hear words like selfish or you didn't try hard or whatever. I'm telling you, for myself, it ain't got nothing to do with Bryce Young. It's the whole team. But he's a contributing factor. I'm not going as hard the rest of that schedule and fucking myself up.
Twan, it's not even just that. It's also at to a certain point you start to become the players around you.
I got you. Let me finish.
Become the players around you.
Well, that's easy for you to say, JJ. But listen to this. That's life-changing money. He got a lot of people he's responsible for. I am not fucking look. JJ could be the quarterback. I'm not fucking up my good knees and ankles fucking with JJ.
I got a question for JJ. Hold on, Twan. JJ, do you think after Thielen sing at the playing with Bryce Young, why he's singing a different tune? I'm not playing with this quarterback.
Yeah, he said everything but his name. He said everything.
Think about it. I'm not about to risk my last 3 years with this cat. I'd rather go somewhere where Ashley can get a ring. Think about it. I'm not about to put my body in the line no more. Oh, fuck that.
So the end of what I was gonna say is this: when you
it does kind of look like that, yo.
I would trade him.
Don't it look like
contract.
It does kind of look like that, yo. I'm not gonna front.
Let me say this: like this was my end part. So, have you guys ever played anything or any type of activity, and whenever you start playing nervous, what happens? When you start doubting yourself, what happens?
You start fucking up.
You start fucking up.
You gotta get hurt.
And then you get worked or you don't look as good, and in your head you say to yourself, man, I ain't even trying hard. But the defendant don't know that.
Man, all night I've been saying that shit.
So I guarantee you, man, look, fans are gonna feel like Burns didn't do right by them this season. But I'm like this. Bransky went out there and killed, and we still would have been 2-15, we'd still be crying. And Burns didn't feel like that team held up the end of the bargain. So at the end of the day, if he has to go somewhere else, I want to see him go somewhere else and excel. And then I don't want to hear fans going, well, why he didn't do that for us when he goes somewhere and get 15 fucking sacks in his first year?
Well, Twan.
Yeah, you should go, Anthony. I just wanted to say real quick, you put it perfectly when you said the team didn't do him right at all. That was really all I wanted to say.
But they never do any of the players right at all. That's why they all go anywhere else and succeed.
This is the problem with Carolina. This is the
Yeah,
problem.
hey, let me add on to Twan.
It's called culture.
I've been trying to preach this to tons of fans, man. We are the central issue. Even if you don't believe in Bryce Young, that's okay. But I guarantee you, if he was drafted to another organization, fans wouldn't be questioning if we need to draft another quarterback after.
They had the same issue.
Did y'all not hear what old buddy said at the awards? He said the Carolina Panthers are the furthest away from ever getting the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Oh man, dude.
Yeah, King.
King and Michael King.
They say that
But
now.
don't we know this?
Now.
It's just like when the Panthers fans gonna stop getting their feelings hurt and wake up and start dealing with the damn truth.
Yeah, you should be mad at the organization, not the player. You should be mad at the organization, not the player.
That man said Taylor Swift is in Tokyo right now. The only thing further from the Super Bowl is the Carolina Panthers.
Damn. You know what's crazy?
She gonna be there.
Damn.
That hurt.
Bro, that was such a surprise.
They've been holding on to that joke for a while because the Panthers ain't been this bad in over a decade. So
and the best parts about those seasons that we were really good is that like as a young fan, for me, I never expected us.
Cody,
to be
one year
good.
we won
Like,
one game.
I still think that team would have beat this one, bro. I don't know. I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Because they played tougher. Because they played tougher back then.
Hey, y'all want to hear a dumb argument? I heard somebody say recently this week on another podcast. I'm not gonna say who it was. The guy said that Mingo and Thielen are a better wide receiver than the year that we had Kelvin Benjamin his rookie year with Funches.
Oh yeah.
No, man. What? I mean, statistically,
they all bad.
I mean,
both 100 yards that year.
Kelvin Benjamin had 1,000 yards and 8 tutties, man. He wasn't that bad his first year. I mean,
he said
he was a fucking beast in his first rookie year.
Listen to this. He said
Kelvin Benjamin was
and
decent.
Thielen are a better wide receiver set than Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous, man. You can pull up the
in his
film.
first year.
They were
that's a dumb statement.
Mingo was out there like jogging on like that little dig route you can do in Madden when like you audible you can switch the route on like usually like I do it in the slot and they run like an inside out. Like Mingo was doing that and like he was jogging like he was terrible this past season. And I'm not giving up on him, but man, he was nothing compared to Kelvin Benjamin, man.
Do y'all think our new coaches, Canales and Brad Idzik, are going to be able to help turn him around, or is he already a lost cause in this shit?
So who agrees with me? So who agrees with me when I say the first thing that Canales has to try to do is try to get the culture changed with this team, bro?
Yep.
Him and
Yeah, it's definitely He has to get this team believing in itself, no doubt.
Yeah, that's culture. So if I'm Canales, the first thing I do is I'm taking all ping pong tables, pool tables, all that shit in the locker room.
Hell yeah. And to Antoine, I'd let them earn that shit back. I'd say if you're 3 games above 500, I'll give you the fucking ping pong
pool table back.
But not until then.
Yeah. Nah, I'm taking all that shit out. They ain't having no fun.
I'm like this goes back to Twan's whole point about culture, right? You know, he mentioned, you're going to see like Brian Burns go somewhere else and thrive. And he's right. I'm not the biggest Brian Burns guy, but that's because Brian Burns is most likely going to a place where he's bought in. Did you see how much Steve Wilkes elevated our players, our team when he was coaching? It was the same players. The same players. Everyone was bought into what he was preaching. That's what the major component of like, if we get that fixed, then you'll probably see a bunch of players play better. And you'll be like, wait, how? This is the same player that we've been watching dropping passes or sloppy tackling or this and that for the past 2 seasons. Like that makes a huge difference, man. Like people underestimate how much coaching and culture really matters in this league. Like that's
we're not saying that culture doesn't matter, man. But
I'm
physical
not talking
ability,
to you.
physical
I'm talking to like
ability goes a long way. And I'm gonna tell you right now, there's not a number one defensive end in this league that's gonna let a tight end put them on their ass.
I thought you were talking about Bryce.
Hey man, hey, real quick before we go any further, let me welcome my dog, Mr. Strats, back to the free for all. Strats, what up, dude? How you living, man?
Yo, what up?
Chilling,
well,
man.
how are
Chilling.
you?
Doing good, man. Just living another day, man. It's a Friday. Just over here chilling.
Yep, just been listening into.
Hey, Cody, let me ask you a quick question.
Regurgitate what I've been saying for the past few.
Cody, has Cody been smoking tonight? Cody, you sound
Have
high,
I been
bro.
smoking?
Yeah, you
I
sound a little
mean,
high.
bro, I'm just saying. I live on a
Every
higher level
city.
naturally,
Hey,
bro.
look.
I'm naturally
He's
elevated
either
out here,
high
dog.
or he's just that mellow tonight.
I mean, bro, I'm high on life. That's what they say about me, So
Just a little
maybe-
bit of crack. That's all.
You know, a little bit.
I mean, a little bit of the spice of life. That's all I'm saying.
There you
But
go. Good old spice.
yeah, man, a little bit of that. The spice of life, man. I just told you, But no, I'm feeling good. But what I'm wondering though, at some point we got to talk about this damn Super Bowl.
I want to.
Did we talk about Cam at all yet?
Kind of. I mean, yeah, kind of. We talked about Cam Newton a little bit. Let me
What
get
he's
my
doing
voice in
today
here.
was awesome, and yesterday and the day before. He
Bro,
really,
yeah,
he's a genius marketing. Like
I've been
he
really
knows
keeping up
exactly
with
what
him,
he's
bro.
doing.
Yeah.
He's
If
really
you
been
watch
killing it, man.
watch his live streams, to me, in my own personal opinion, you'll learn quite a bit.
Guess who he
Iron
had on
out
his live
coach,
stream
you
today?
learn.
Take a guess who he had on his
Greg
stream
Olsen.
today. He did. But
Screaming
then
Ace Smith,
while
too.
Olsen was there, he had
Right.
Bert and
Bert Crusher and Tom Segura. Tom Segura
Like,
is one of my favorite
are you
comedians.
talking? Like, I was waiting for the moment that those audiences might merge at some point, because now I feel like the influx of audience that Cam's going to get is going to be off the walls over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, man, dude, that's dude, Cam is so likable, man. He's able to get people to let their guard down and just bullshit with him. Bro, Luke Kuechly walked up on him yesterday, and seeing them hug, man, like those boys love each other, man. That's real camaraderie that they had on that 2015.
Did you hear what Greg told him? Calm down. Or what Cam was hugging him, he said, Cam, my back.
Yeah, he's an old
That's not
man
what he
now,
said.
man.
He said it feels good. He's
Greg
like,
must-
well, wait a minute, hang on.
Yeah, Greg must have some chronic back issues,
Yeah, I don't blame him, man.
I would bet they all have chronic everything issues.
Yeah, I would imagine.
One of the things
Real
that
quick,
Cam
I want
said.
to ask you.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna introduce some people. I got two new people.
Let me say something real quick, Pick.
Right.
One of the things that stood out today with him, man, was when he was talking to I call him Screaming A. Smith, and Stephen A. Smith was trying to tell him, about the world that he's in ESPN. I love that Cam said that people want to hear from athletes tell their real stories and not always listen to people like on ESPN, Fox, or whatever, and like the way they try to make a story. You know what I'm saying? He said people are more inclined on podcasts to listen to more athletes, because athletes are going to tell the story the way that it is and not try to pull the wool over our eyes. And I thought about that with podcasters as well. And I thought about Cody and Black Cat Panther Podcast and all the other podcasts that's out here in the Panthers world and all worlds. Is the reason why people push towards us and want to hear us when we speak is because most of the times we're gonna be genuine with each other with what we really think that we see. We watch the teams play every year, and it's not, you don't have to go to ESPN and watch somebody talk about your team for 2 minutes and then that's all that they say.
Right.
And everybody thinks that's what your team is.
Yeah.
So I like that he
ESPN never
pointed that
talks
out.
about the Panthers
Yeah.
in a positive light, and now you can listen to us when we do talk about them in a positive light.
Right.
And we're dedicated to the Panthers, man. We know more about the Panthers than ESPN and any of these Fox clown.
I would argue this past year with Cam's show, we've gleamed more into and that article that came out from the Athletic.
Yeah,
but we've been
and dude, you know what else, Strats? We've also been so freaking bad, man. Like the fact that we were bad, and Stroud went number 2. The whole quarterback conversation, firing the head coach back-to-back years in the middle of the season. Like, we've been in the news for all the wrong reasons, you know. And
Yeah, we have.
That sucks. Hey, well, hold on. Hey, hold that thought, Twan. I gotta introduce some folks into free for all. I got my man James Island Panther in the building. James, what's up, dude?
What's going on, fellas? How's everybody doing?
Chilling, man. Just enjoying the free for all, talking Panthers. How about you, man? What you got for the show?
Man, it's tomorrow's my birthday. I just wanted to come and say
Hey, happy
everybody.
birthday, man. Happy birthday, brother.
Gonna be an old man tomorrow, technically, I guess.
How old? How old are we talking?
I'll be 51 tomorrow, man.
Hey, that's a good number, man.
Yeah, man. I'll just say one thing I wanted to say.
Bro, we exist.
Yeah, we
already, bro.
exist. So hey, I wanted to say one thing. I didn't know it 11 years ago, but I bought myself a ticket to a Panthers game for my birthday. It was my 40th birthday, and I was like, yeah, I want to go to that Monday Night Football. I want to go to that Monday night game against the Patriots, and it ended up being the Ice Up Sun game, and that was like one of my best games ever, man.
That's one of the best. That's one of the best Panther games ever, man. I love it.
You still got that ticket?
I got it somewhere. And then I went twice in the 2015 season because I was just like, man, I don't know what it is about this team. Something special happening with this team.
Got that it factor, man. That it factor, man.
They did, man. They do. I just wanted to say hey to everybody, and man, I hope we made the good hires, and you know, I'm just ready to see some competent football. I don't care about winning. I just want to see some competency, man.
Is there a free agency move? Is there a free agency move that you would like to see made this offseason?
It's just been so many moves to go over. I don't really know which one's the right one. It just seems like I'd love for Burns to stay, but at the same time, it's like I don't know if we're going to be able to pay him. Can we get some draft picks for him? If we do get draft picks, are they going to be good draft picks? I don't know. It's been such a shit show forever, man.
Yeah, it really has been, dude.
It really is, bro.
And we have so many.
Should call him Sideburns for standing on the side and watching the play unfold.
It really is a doo-doo show, bro.
It is a doo-doo show. Hey, and I wanted to say one more thing. Twan, I love 704 Charlotte Bound. I listen to I feel like I know all you dudes because I listen to all the podcasts so much. And
yeah, we always see your name in the chat room, man. Yeah, we know you're a faithful.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
definitely a faithful, man. Definitely faithful. I'm hoping y'all are still gonna be putting out some content soon, man. But
hey, bro, hey, I know. I speak for C3, man. We never take no weeks off. We are a year-round Panther podcast, man. So yeah, we'll be here.
And that's why everybody at C3 is on heavy antidepressants.
Yeah.
Talking about this shit every day.
No lies detected. No lies detected.
Hey, man, I got a key. Look, I don't want to be in a motherfucking psychiatric ward, so I got to take some time off.
I feel you, man. I feel you. This team will put it on you, man.
Damn,
we didn't know how good we had it, man. You know, we just didn't know how good we had it for some.
But you know what, man? We feel that we're going to be vindicated one day when the Panthers ever do get good. Like all this time that we put into it, it's not going to be for nothing, man. We will have made our presence known. And we'll be ready when these Panthers are ready, man, to jump to the next level.
Cody, does Cam get Dan Morgan on his podcast? Would he go on his podcast? If he does, do they talk about some stuff? If that happens, does it swing a certain way? And the doors open when Morgan said he wanted to keep.
I mean, I would love.
And if so, how do you all feel about our GM going on a podcast with our former legend quarterback?
I would love that, man.
I mean, what would be wrong with that?
So here's the question: who's going to stop that? Who's going to stop that, though?
Are they doing radio? Are they still doing? Are they still doing Radio Row tomorrow? Is it over? Are they still doing Radio Row?
I think his schedule looked like it was today was the last day.
Oh, okay. So then they might not. But yeah, if he's able to, you mean like at some point in the future, like have him just on the show?
Yeah, because if they kindle a conversation, I feel like that leads to a place where Cam, I mean, he's basically screaming it from the rooftop that he wants to help the Panthers as much as he can. So I don't know why
David Tepper
no
gonna
one's
stop
giving
all.
him
He
a
gonna
shot
cock block
somewhere.
that whole shit.
Somewhere in the organization, there's no spot for him somewhere in the organization.
If I may say though, if Cam goes to work for the organization at somewhere, it ruins his podcast that he's worked hard for.
Yep.
He can't work for the NFL.
Not necessarily. We can't say that definitively.
Yeah, they're going to meet him. They're not going to let him
crazy,
say what he
dude.
want to say.
You
Cam's
don't see
crazy.
any other employee of an
So, and Cam work for.
Well, the players do it. Like I know the
It will
dude
become
from
a conflict of interest, bro.
yeah, but I mean
Cam's regiment
players,
is insane, dude. If anyone can do it, he can do it.
Yeah, but I'm saying like players do it. But if he had a front office or job, I don't know that he would be able to, in the same capacity, do it as like play. I know Marlon Humphrey has a podcast. The Kelsey brothers have a podcast. Like active players
you mean
have
because
their own
he couldn't
pod.
say as much stuff?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Can't be on the staff and do that
Like
shit.
players, well, players will tell you cool stories about what happens on the field. But when you're in the front office, that's the inner workings of the organization. Yeah,
I wonder if that's why, if you finally started being honest about everything and opening up, if that's why no one's really wanted
Cam
to
is
have
the
him,
truth teller, and David Tepper
I
ain't having that shit.
I know Cam wanted a front office job, but again, I'm just going to say it. Does Cam have the education to do it? And I'm not saying
he's got lots of business.
I'm just saying it takes more than. I mean, look at Dan Morgan. How far Dan Morgan had to work to get where he's at.
All right. So here's what happens when you switch companies.
Fingers and says, "I want this job." I mean,
when you go from a corporation to a corporation, I mean, it is a little different because it's sports entertainment kind of thing. But
yeah,
when you're going from like he's like Cam's been in that industry, so he has the knowledge and the lingo down, and that's really what, like, if I transition from insurance into, I don't know, they're trying to think of internet company like AT&T or something like that. The lingo changes, but like my job, relatively speaking, is, I'm still applying for the same similar type structure position that I was in before. So I understand what the hell I'm doing. But in this case, he doesn't have that experience in this industry, I guess.
Well, I remember that when Cam wanted to be the VP of, or the president or whatever, like one of my main questions was, what does that job entail? Like, what are they actually doing? And how does it differ from what the general manager does? To say whether Cam Newton would be good in one of those positions, like, I don't know. It just depends on what the job asks of him to do. Like, I have no doubt that he can be in a managerial role and manage things regarding the team. But again, I don't know what that job entails. So I don't know every aspect. Do y'all want Cam Newton on
different teams?
Do y'all want Cam Newton doing contract negotiations? I don't know about that.
That's
you know
GM.
what I'm saying? Like,
that's GM.
Yeah, true.
Hey, Twan.
Yeah.
Let me say this. You remember when I was on your show? Remember when I was on your show the last time and I told you the very thing is that they need a president of football operations. So what did he make Dan Morgan?
That's what you said.
What did he make Dan Morgan? I told him he needed a football guy.
Yep.
To make football decisions because he has no clue what the hell he's doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, they made Dan Morgan the president of football operations. Because I think what'll happen is soon. Maybe this year, Dan Morgan. Maybe 2 years, Dan Morgan is the GM / president of football operations, and then maybe he hires a GM to do the GM side, and he makes the football decisions for this team. That's what needs to happen. You don't need. There needs to be right now. The coach and Dan Morgan both answer to Tepper.
Right.
What needs to happen is Dan Morgan needs to transition to just the president of football operations, and he's the only one that talks to Tepper because he needs to be telling this fool like, "Oh, this is a dumbass move."
Yep, by itself. And the other thing, and I hope the ladies don't get mad at me. Well, what Nick just said.
You're wearing a pink G-string.
No. So, like, a lot of people don't even know who our team president, who the Panthers president, the team president is. Look, man, she's done nothing since she's been here, bro. Absolutely nothing. But the thing is, her and Nicole Tepper, the team president. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, what's her name?
Christy Coleman.
That's how much we know her. We don't know her name.
Christy Coleman.
But she's but her and Nicole Tepper are tight. But see, listen, again, culture change. We don't need people holding positions, important positions like that, because they cool with the owner's wife. Find her another fucking job to waste money with and get somebody real in that position. Like Nick just said, look, I like it where there's this easy pathway. Because look, when too many people got too many words to say in each other's ears, what do you get? You get that fucking interview that dropped with PFF, the Hunger Games, where everybody's talking, but they ain't put no names on it. But
I think
we knew who was who. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But the way you eliminate that shit is when you got somebody that goes right to the top. He ain't got to talk with all these other people. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, from what it looks like now, don't you think it looks like he's kind of learned? Hopefully this is the case, but don't you think it looks so far as if he's learned a lesson off that from last year?
I don't know what lessons have been learned, man.
He hired one speed. Listen, we've been talking about this for a while now. The GM and the head coach, we never had a combo with Tepper where he's been like, let's get rid of both at the same time. So that right there off the bat is different.
Yeah.
Hey, let me add. Hey, let me.
And then he hired top down. He did GM.
Hey, let me add some people to the show real quick, man. I got G Baby in the house. G Baby, what's up, dude? You still there?
Yeah, what's Gucci with y'all, man?
Chilling, bro. We're talking about everything, man. What you got for the show, man? Just whatever you want to say, man. It's your time to say it.
Oh man,
tell me, Brian Burns.
Just enjoying the ride right now, man. I'm on an all-time high with these Panthers right now. So
all-time high.
I'm on an all-time high right now, bro.
Jinx us ahead of schedule here.
You must be on that dirt weed, bro. What the hell?
I'm confident in what Dave Canales can do. I feel real good about him. I like the assistant coaches, the OCs, all that other shit. I like how he's bringing in his own players or his own coaches. That's pretty dope. But we got to rebuild, man. I'm not expecting us to go to the playoffs this year. If we do, it's going to be a cherry on top. Definitely not expecting us to go to the playoffs, but I expect us to get at least 6-7 wins this upcoming season, man. I feel real good about that shit, man. I don't see us getting any worse, bruh. I don't see us putting up no fucking 2-win season ever again, bruh. I just don't see it happening.
Don't even say that out loud.
It's not gonna happen, bruh.
It's not happening.
There was so much fucking fucked up shit that was going on inside this organization, man. Like bro. Like,
but baby, who's Bryce gonna throw the ball to?
Well, first of all, in my personal opinion, we got to we need to figure out what we're gonna do with Adam Thielen. Is he staying or is he going?
He can't go. He's under contract.
Pickle was saying if we trade or cut Adam, it saves us money.
Why the fuck would we trade him? He was the best receiver we had.
No,
he don't want to be here.
I know what post you're talking about. It was two other players.
Shit, he'll be here.
Hey, if he wanted to stay, he'd be a good number 2. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, whether we save money by cutting or trading him is kind of irrelevant. Because I mean, there's a lot of places you can do that. You get through half your roster and save a bunch of money.
The contract.
Hey man,
no, wait a minute. Listen, hold up a second.
Unless they do a sign and trade.
Let me add this part. There's no limitation, right? There's a cut date where you have to cut your roster down to a certain limitation, correct?
Right.
Yeah. I think we're already below. We're gonna already be below the cap number, so I think we'll be good. Yeah. It's March something.
You keep what you have, and you add to it, and then you make your cuts.
We're only below the cap number because of all the fucking dead money we have from trading.
You have a new coach. You have new paradigms in place. So you have new.
Dude, we didn't even know where near the top of dead money. So I don't even know where that's coming from.
Hey, real quick, I have Anthony and Edge back in the building on the free for all. What's up, boys?
What's up?
Dead money's irrelevant right now.
Yeah, you ain't lying, and that's why fucking we need to start trading motherfuckers and start getting fucking assets and shit, man.
Wait, hold on. Pick one.
We need to trade Brian Burns. Who else would we trade? Burns, Brian Burns, Brian fucking Burns has got to go. He's out of here. He's out of here.
Okay,
he's out of here. If he was gonna stay in Carolina, he would have a fucking contract right fucking now, bro.
Okay,
Brian Burns is gone, bro, and that soft ass shit. Oh, I was only playing half ass because I didn't want to get hurt. That's some soft ass shit, bro.
Hey, that's why you ready.
Question, bro. Anthony, calm down.
Hold on, before y'all fucking
with your season and everything like that.
That's easy for him to say that from the fucking side.
Wait, Ed, you might need to come back and come in. Your microphone's messing up. Try it one more time. Say something. Wait, say something. Say something.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, cool. Hey, G-Baby, let me ask you a question, man. Let me ask you a question. If your employer tells you, hey, I need you to put up what the same amount of hours and the same amount of time you're putting up right now, but I'm cutting your pay in half, but I still want you to put up the same amount of stuff. I'm cutting your pay in half. Would you still work as hard?
Fuck no, he ain't.
I can't even hear that. What did he say?
He basically said y'all need to stop fucking having a dick fight over Brian Burns, bro. We do this every week. The reality
he's in his 6th year, Ed. He's in his 6th year, and we're still talking about potential. He's in his 6th year, and we're still talking about potential, bro.
G-Baby, listen.
He goes. If he stays, he stays. Who the fuck cares, man?
Well, here's the. Let me add this little tidbit. So here's the thing. Here's the thing with Brian Burns is that there is if you remove him off the team, which I think I'm in favor for, kind of ripping the Band-Aid off early. But I will say this: if you do that, it will cause a dynamic shift in like power of like multiple different facets. It will cause a dynamic shift unless you can make up for some of it, because he was not in the right place to like create the sack, but he did create the pressure, which sometimes did cause like the QBs to like kind of scramble out of pocket the wrong way, and they weren't never linked up with the right time to like protect against it. Some for most of the times that happened, that ended up happening. So he has the potential to be good, but at this point, it's like I would probably cut your losses in Carolina and see what you can get for him. And we really probably should have done that last year, but hindsight's 2020. So what does it matter now?
Stress. Let me ask you this then: the real shift in power and what you were just talking about was when they traded McCaffrey and Moore. That's when the roster started to go.
Talking about power on like
offensively.
Well,
I'm talking.
Burns is on the defensive side of the ball, so we're talking about. I mean, it's not.
Listen, I originally the thing with Brian Burns is that he's probably the most valuable player you have, and like we're just in a weird spot where it's like we've already traded our best players, so it's like if you actually want to accumulate picks, then he's probably the only option to do it. Like
I agree. I'm just saying we have to
hold on. Then there's one more part of this. Then you do got to feel for Brian Burns. As much as G-Baby hates him, and listen, I get the criticism.
It will change the defense if you remove him, though. We just have to all be on the same page of being like, yeah, I know that's going to happen. We need to prepare for that.
Okay, but we've already been bad with him, man.
No, even when we took him out, the few games he was out. Yes, let me say one small thing, and I'll
let Strat finish, and then I'm gonna let Nick go.
When we took him out for like the few games that he was out, I forget exactly how many it was, but it was noticeably different. There was a noticeable difference in the pressure that was still. The dynamic changed. I mean, again, you're talking about like players running around the field. We're not talking about chess, like on a chessboard. So things are there's a lot more variables. But what I saw and what I think we all kind of saw is that when you took him out of that 1 or 2 games that he was out, it was like a substantial difference. That was
Cody. Who is this speaking?
What?
Who is this speaking?
Stats.
Oh, what up, Stats? Yeah, Stats is making some good points, bro.
Yeah,
appreciate
Josh always
it, man.
does,
Good
man.
point.
I
If
just
you
want to say.
take,
I just want to say one
what he's
thing.
saying, hey Nick, I'm gonna let you go. But what he's saying is,
It's not
when people just start yelling shit out because they just think they know what the fuck they're talking about. I like how Strash just put it. If you take Burns out, that is going to change that fucking defense. It's going to put more lineage and more lean on other players. Now people can just double the hell out of fucking Derek Brown and he won't get off. And then they can just double Luvu and then he won't get off. It's going to change that damn defense tremendously.
Okay,
See,
Twan,
people
your
like
point.
you're not understanding the trail that it's going to leave behind if you take them off of that damn
Well,
defense.
and the worst part,
Let's
Juwan, is
just
that
pay him $30 million.
we don't even
with a
track.
straight face
Oh,
that
Brian
we
Burns
don't
is
know
shit for the Carolina Panthers, man.
Yeah, one at a time, one at a time, one at a time.
Forget the money. Okay, forget.
Say get rid of Burns, but we gonna win 7 games. Man, get the fuck that don't add up.
Let me.
Go ahead,
I
Nick.
gotta say this. I just want to
Yeah,
say
let
one
Nick
thing.
go. Let Nick
I'm
go.
gonna dead this whole conversation.
Yeah.
One, let's stop saying trade Burns. One, he is not under contract. Let's
Yeah,
stop
cut
saying
that shit
tag
out.
Burns and then trade him. Because one, you tag him, you owe him $23 million this year
You
against the
tag
cap.
him, you keep him. Agreed.
You tag him, you owe him $23 million against the cap right away. And so that $28 million that we have in cap space right now goes to $5 million.
Not really. Not really.
And
If you
then,
tag him,
and then
if you tag him, hypothetically say, number one, he don't have to sign it right away. Number one, if you tell the agent we're going to tag and trade you, and you could go find somewhere, here's the tag. Burns don't sign it until he's already. So hypothetically, it's to the Rams. They were interested once for a first round pick or whatever it is. And Burns says, all right, I'll go there. He signs the tag. It's traded. The Rams pay that, not Carolina.
yeah, so but but listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. This is the other thing about it. The moment his agent calls one of these other teams and says, hey, they're looking to trade Burns, they're gonna pay you pennies instead of dollars. They're not going to pay you. They're not going to give you. If they're trying to get rid of him, why not just wait until they pull the tag back and sign it?
Yeah, they said that about a lot. Hold on,
I've been 30
they
years.
said that
I've
about
been
a lot
30
of
years.
players, and a lot of those players still got value.
I've heard this argument so many times it ain't real. I've heard it with Peppers. I heard it with a whole bunch of other people. The same damn argument. Okay, and it's always no. If you let me tell you what, there was only one idiot GM Carolina had who actually bent
You
over
must be
and
talking
let
about
everybody
David
fuck
Gettleman
him in
already.
the ass. And that was when that idiot son of a
Say
bitch
his
put
name,
the
Pickle.
tag on
Say his name.
on Josh Norman. And then after Norman threw his spin and he went through the
Gentlemen.
draft, then he pulled the son of a bitch, and Norman walked down to Washington, didn't get jack shit out of that deal. Now that was the only dumbass. Now here's the deal: if you decide to tag Burns,
I can feel your anger.
decide to tag it. Do what? What are you breathing? What are you trying to say? Something sexy?
He said I could feel your anger, bro.
I was trying to. It
Continue.
was supposed to be the Star Wars. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you
The
tried
joke
to
is
say
last. The
something.
joke is last. It's not funny.
I'm not even
What
listening.
the
So
fuck?
you had me all
Easily
freaked out anyway.
distracted.
So what I'm saying is simply is if they decide to tag him, it's a two-way proposition. Either you already know you can afford it, if he just like I said what, an hour and a half ago, that half these people wasn't in there at the time, but I'll say it again. If you have a desire that you want to tag him, then your GM and your head coach, and I'm assuming your defensive coordinator, sits down and you meet with Burns and you let him know the situation with his contract. You let him know all this other stuff. And he says, all right, that's cool. And he either agrees to a contract or he signs the tag. You have to afford that.
Pickle, he don't even fit the scheme, G. They got this nigga dropping back in fucking coverage.
I didn't say I would do that. Listen, I've already said what I do. I said that more times than I care to repeat. And happy, so I ain't going to repeat it. Y'all, you know what I do.
Well, hey, but wait. Let me commandeer the combo though. So now that we know Ejiro Evero is coming back as defensive coordinator, should we expect the same thing out of Brian Burns?
That's what I was agreeing.
Nothing? Absolutely nothing? Yes, I expect that shit if he comes back, bro.
Okay,
I want to turn this question back on Cody.
You guys are missing this biggest factor when you're talking about this conversation. Okay, Brian Burns has been in fucking hell here for years now. Why would he want to play here? Y'all talk about how yes, he's a good player, but listen, he was half-assing it last season because he wasn't fucking bought in. Are you really going to be able to tell him the same bullshit this season? Are you going to be able to spew him that? No, he doesn't want to come back here. No, he doesn't want to come back here. And then the players that we actually traded, DJ Moore just bought a house here.
To be fair, we can't know what he thinks unless we're him, and we're not. So we can speculate all day long, but we don't know.
Dratch, we don't know that. I can tell you one of the things he's thinking. Brian Burns I guarantee he cringed when he found out that Evero was bringing that 3-4 defense. Brian Burns is not a fucking linebacker, bro. Put his fingers back in the dirt, you'll see a different Brian Burns.
Do you think he's a better edge than
that's what he is. That's what he's always been. People, you know how many times I had to argue with people, Cody, when they kept saying he's a better linebacker. He's never fucking played linebacker. Never in Florida State did he play linebacker ever.
Twan, you're proving my point as to why
he does well, what he went to 2 Pro Bowls for, and you'll see a different Brian Burns. This man ain't never had to chase receivers and none of that shit in his life. So you can't just say, "Oh, you're gonna do that this year," and then not expect them to have some kind of groin turn or whatever. They did the same shit with Chen. That's why Chen looks like shit right now.
Shouldn't Evero know that? Shouldn't Evero know that though?
Yes, exactly.
Shouldn't your fucking defensive coordinator? Shouldn't he know to fucking put Brian Burns on the edge? And shouldn't he, bro? I don't like Evero, bro. I don't fuck with the 3-4. The 3-4 is meant to stop the fucking pass, bro. We can't stop the run, bro. We got to switch back to a 4-3, but we won't, bro. We won't. Evero's the same guy that said, "I'm gonna use Jeremy Chin like Justin Simmons from the Denver Broncos, bro." He told that shit to my face, bro.
Every sack that Burns had this past year was recorded when he was at edge. This past year, he got that shit.
Hey, real quick, I'm not gonna take long. Hey, I'm not going to take long. I put a poll up in the chat a little while ago. Who is the bigger offseason priority?
Of course they're going to say Luvu, man.
Frankie Luvu or Brian Burns, and 78% said Frankie Luvu to Brian Burns.
Hell no. This is hands down.
Luvu cannot hold Burns' jock.
Luvu got more heart, though.
No, he don't.
Man, hold on. You know what? Hold on.
Luvu does have more.
That's bullshit, Twan.
Skated.
You can't judge nobody's heart, bro.
He left that man in the mud, bro. All that heart just to have his butt on the behind, bro.
Hey, Luvu got to prove it more. Brian don't.
Brian Burns is definitely a way more impactful player.
Brian Burns give up on plays. That's enough for me to say fuck you.
Here's what
Brian Burns is out
but I don't make the decisions. All I am is an idiot on YouTube running my lip.
Let me ask something else.
And argue with
I'm trying to get there. Right.
Somebody else.
So, hang on, wait.
I want to get the wise words from D's. So, D's, listen.
I will.
What would they have said about Brian Burns if he said, "Fuck this season, I'm not playing"?
We'll go D's and then we'll go my man Strats.
They will still be mad when they beat D's.
Yeah. What if Burns said he wasn't gonna play under the tag?
I'm sitting out. Y'all didn't pay me. I'm sitting out.
Man, I think the problem goes back to Dave Tepper. I think that's the issue. You go back to Steve Wilkes coaching this team to be a smash mouth football team, and he did a fine job. And Tepper said no. Tepper doesn't want the Carolina Panthers to be a smash mouth football team anymore. He wants us to be a normal NFL offense with a decent passing attack with a number 1 drafted quarterback in Bryce Young. That's what Dave Tepper wants, and he's still driving the bus, Twan. And Brian Burns is an underperforming asset, and this 3-4 defense is very well possible a trade asset for the offense. We need interior offensive linemen that are able to pass block. Lord knows if we need a left tackle, then Brian Burns is the only thing we're going to be able to help us get a left tackle. So I think it has more to do with Dave and less to do with Brian. I don't think Brian's super happy here. I know he had an interview with Vashante. It was awful. I mean, he was really upset being on this team. Just the look on his face told me everything I needed to know about how Brian Burns felt about being a Carolina Panther. And I think it's because he had to survive through that Matt Rule mess. And then even worse this year, the Frank Reich mess. I mean, I can imagine where he wouldn't play for this team next year. He did the right thing this year. And I think every single Panthers fan gives him credit for doing the right thing, Twan. And it's a fine thing that he did, but to see him do it again, on a tag and trade scenario, I don't see it happening. And it goes back to what Nick was saying. I don't think it happens because of the cap. I think that Samir Suleiman and Scott Fitterer made a daggum mess of the salary cap, trying to be in win now mode, thinking that the success that Steve Wilkes had here was theirs, and they were responsible for it. But the fact of the matter was, it was Steve, and they let Steve walk because we don't want to be a smash mouth football team. Back to that again. We want to be this pass and attack, and Brian Burns is an asset, Twan. I don't think he plays. And yes, I think he let up on some games last year because he didn't want to get injured. I think he told the truth. What am I going full speed for on a 2-win team?
But that's exactly why he's not going to come back, because you're trying to convince him to buy into the
brand
same
ambassador.
system
I love
that
it.
didn't maximize his. I'm just speaking the truth, man. I don't think he wants to be here.
Do you want him here?
Would you?
I mean, I could care less at this point. We're in a rebuild.
Well, let's think about this. What I haven't heard anyone bring up yet, and I'm surprised no one has, is Derek Brown.
That was a
in
great
the Pro
take,
Bowl.
Deez. I love that, bro. I love that.
I haven't heard anyone bring up.
Brand ambassador.
I haven't heard. It was actually, you hit a lot of really good points. Is like almost too many to. I had to. Sometimes when you speak, I have to bring up a notepad and I have to like jot down thoughts to respond to it, because you have. And I don't know how you do this without using notepad, because it feels like you just do this off the cusp of your head and you have it all built up.
It's the hair. It's the long hair makes it.
Yeah, long hair don't care. And he's called these. He's called these skills for a reason.
Hey, so I know he was about to ask about Derek Brown.
I
was gonna bring up to sign Derek Brown this year.
I agree.
One that will lower the cap hit. That will lower his cap hit this year.
Yeah, and with Strats, before you go, shout out to Nightcap for becoming a YouTube member, for becoming a C3 super fan. We appreciate you. Go ahead, Strats.
Nightcap.
I was just gonna say with Derek Brown, what we didn't bring up was the fact that even though this team was in shoddy shape throughout most of the season, and we started to try to get back on the rails towards the end, Derek was there throughout. I can't think of a game in particular that he wasn't an influence, and so there's two sides of this. It is a lot obviously been on coaching, but then some of it does come down to like, how much I don't want to say how much respect you have for yourself, but some of our players did not perform. Like, they could have all had breakout seasons if they wanted to, right? Like, they could have been like, whatever, I don't care what you guys are trying. You guys are screwing stuff up over there in your positions. I'm just going to manage my position, and I'm just going to worry about that. And Derek Brown got that done this year. Even amidst all the BS going on, he still performed.
Trying to get paid.
That's why I believe it. I don't understand how he was an alternate for freaking man. He had more tackles than any other defensive tackle in the league.
Because it's a popularity contest.
You mean it's all popularity contest.
That's why you never judge. Never judge.
Wait. Time out. I have a question. When people, and I know we keep on going back to Burns, but I think that we haven't mentioned this in relation to Burns. When people said that Burns doesn't have no help, does Derek Brown not count as help?
Apparently not.
Considering that Derek Brown never misses. He never misses a game.
Cody, he had Derek Brown and he had Hassan Reddick. on the same line, bro.
And takes all of the double teams.
Yeah.
Well,
Derek Brown and fucking Hassan Reddick, dog.
Hold on. Someone brought up a good point about whoever it was. I think it was Strats. You saw how he mentioned that Derek Brown played every game through the bullshit. That's the difference because he wants to be here and he's bought into whatever, and Brian Burns isn't. So for all the people, yes, listen, Twan, I get your points. Brian Burns probably deserves some sort of paycheck. He probably, like, in some ways, we've done him dirty. But the reality is he wasn't bought in this past season. And what makes you think in the same defense, dropping his ass back in coverage, the same issues you've been bringing up, what makes you think he's going to be like, yeah, I'm doing that shit again? Honestly, someone answer that question. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be here, man.
Let me tell you why. When you say he wasn't bought in, he was bought in when he said, "Okay, y'all don't have to pay me. I'm gonna go out here and do what I have to do." I think when he started selling himself short and all that was week after week, and all the bullshit that was going on behind the scenes. It was in that damn report, that Hunger Games shit. I mean, they were right there, and like seeing this team lose week after week after week. Look, man. I mean, I think he lost interest, and then he said it. I started thinking about my own son, but don't tell me he wasn't bought in. He was bought in because he didn't sit out. He could have easily sat out, and we wouldn't be talking about this shit right now.
Okay, so with that in mind, though, is he going to be bought in again after the way the organization's done him? That's the question.
I think if you pay him, and then the guarantee money looks somewhat like what he wants. Just like with most players, then you'll see them start to go off. I mean,
that ain't no dog, bro. That ain't no dog, dog. That is not a fucking dog, bro.
Of course it is.
No, it's not, Twan. That's not a fucking dog, dude.
That's a hoe down the street. That's your partner. That's your bitch. Your whore down the street. That's what that shit is.
A part of me does
whore himself to the Panthers.
A part of me at the end of the day does want to, like, I want to see Brian Burns go somewhere else. I want him to get as far away from this fucking team as he can get.
Hey, real quick, shout out to the Monday Night Cap Sports with the $5. Says, forget the half-ass play from Burns. Dan will find someone who's hungry, spread the money on offense, and keep Luvu. Fuck the half-ass play.
Why not get a 21-year-old, 22-year-old rookie that's trying to that's hungry, bro? And you don't have to give him a fat-ass contract. He's on a rookie contract,
Hey, Nick, because it's so easy to do that. It's so easy to find a defensive edge, bro. That's a hard position to find, bro.
Hey, real quick, hang on. I got Pop and Edge back in the building. What's up, dudes?
Hey, what's up, hey, look, yo, we already got a freaking freaking guy on his rookie deal at the defensive end, man. That's YGM, man. Did y'all forget about him? I must have forgot about him.
Yeah, bro.
YGM. We gotta go hit this man. Hey, bro, he's right. He's right next to him, bro. Come on, man.
Yo, who the fuck is that, bro?
Come on, man. Y'all forgot about him. Y'all must forgot about YGM, huh?
Bro, who the hell is that
down there in this place?
You know what's so funny? Ed, you're absolutely right. So I agree with Twan. I do think it's so. To quote my guy Q up a Black Cat, he said, and y'all gonna hate this, y'all really are. So you know what, Carolina Panthers, please trade them. Take the picks that you're gonna get from the Ravens if the offer's still on the table. But Q said Bryce Young's gonna get everybody fired off that defense. Everything they're gonna have to get, everything they need on offense. It's gonna have to take away from the defense, and
that's because of
hold on, don't cut me off. I just got back. Y'all can have your opinion after I'm finished. But if that's not true, we wouldn't be talking about it because if we were winning, we'll be paying, and we ain't paying. And he ain't helping us. He ain't helping us win either. So,
right,
because it apt of what he can't do with his physical traits, which are lackluster. He can't read defense. And just not elite at anything, they have to go out here and find elite talent to help him. So what you can do is because you have all the best players on your defense, you're going to have to get whatever value you can out of the best guys, which is on your defense, to try to help you in your offense. That's just the point of it all. So I hope Brian Burns goes to the Ravens. We take those picks, and they be in the Super Bowl next year.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Sure.
So a lot of people have that. I've heard a lot of people make the point for not keeping Brian Burns because he wasn't helping us towards winning, and that's why you don't deserve a contract. Should we keep that same energy for Derek Brown or no? Or
Well,
even
so let me answer that.
a lot
Did
of
you
people
find-
are
did
also
you-
saying that
did you-
about Frankie Luvu, him too, as well.
Did you find? Hold on, Rick. I'm gonna answer the question. Who did they put the mic in front of more? Frankie Luvu, Derek Brown, or Brian Burns? Did you notice how much they kept trying to get Brian Burns to speak? Did you notice how many times that he tweeted said, "I want to be in Carolina"? Did you notice any of those things? They never once have talked to Derek Brown about his contract. They never once talked to Luvu about his contract. They never put him on blast. They always were searching for for Brian Burns. So if you keep coming to me and keep asking me the same questions, eventually you're gonna get your answer. So what I'm saying is they was forcing the not the narrative, but the subject. Hey, Brian Burns, do you still want to be here? Yes, I want to be here. I talked to God about this.
Yes.
I prayed about this. Me and my family has prayed over this. How many times did a man have to tell you?
Well, yes, but the reason why they kept asking the question was because it was open ended. It was one of the only main contracts left.
He should have sat out, man.
He's already said it multiple times, but that's fine though. I'm glad that everybody's over it. I'm glad that
He should
everybody
have said
wants to
that.
trade it. And you know what? Either way, Carolina Panthers fans would not have been happy whether he took some plays off like Julius Peppers did, or if he sat out the way he should have did.
We are not about to compare Julius Peppers to fucking Brian Burns. You lost your fucking mind, bro. You lost your fucking mind, bro.
You're not listening. You're
No
not
one
listening.
said we're
You're-
comparing anyone.
You're not listening. See, that's what happens when dumb people talk. You didn't listen to nothing I just said. I said take plays off.
Here
Take
we
the
go.
shit out your ears, and you will listen. You will hear what the fuck I'm saying.
Julius can take plays off when he gets over 10 sacks every season, regardless.
No, you're not.
Guess what, Nick? Guess what, Nick? Guess what, Nick?
Julius Peppers was
Guess what,
holding
Nick?
himself
Guess
back
what,
from
Nick?
being the best player he could have
Did
been.
he stay? Did he stay, Nick?
They tagged him twice.
Did he
Did you
stay,
think he was going to stay?
No. Did he stay? It's a yes or no question. Did he
They
stay?
tagged him twice.
No,
Do you think he was going to stay?
Stay, Nick. You're not slow. Did he stay?
Cut it out, Nick.
We know he didn't stay.
Thank you. That's exactly what we do with all of our good players. But anyway,
Okay,
the
so
point is that I'm
listen.
saying you're going to have to take.
Learn your history,
You're going to have
Nick.
to
Get your history.
Cody,
down,
can I
bro.
say this?
You're going to have to take the talent that you
I
have
got my
on
hand
defense.
raised, Cody. I got my hand raised.
All right, so
Stupidity. That stupidity is what it is, bro.
wait, hold on,
When Derek Brown gets
wait.
triple team,
Stupidity,
Luvu
bro.
gets triple team.
Let-
I don't want to hear shit.
Brian Burns and Julius Peppers in the same sentence is just retarded, bro. The fuck are we talking about?
G-Baby, you claim Bryce Young is a Hall of Famer. Shut your ass up.
Hey, Bryce Young will be here forever. You gonna have to get used to that shit.
You wearing the Bryce Young
BY9 about to be here forever.
For right now, though, it feels like every time that we bring up Brian Burns and why we would move away, it's the only two answers come up. One, we can't replace him. We don't trust the Panthers to be able to replace him. And number 3 or 2, whatever, we give away all of our good players to other teams.
Why
And
did
it's
they
like,
say that, though?
I want to see
yeah,
Our
but
good players thrive everywhere else because we've been.
So-
Okay, I got my hand
Hold
up.
on,
I
can
got
I
my hand up.
clarify this?
And it's also listen this. I've been saying
my hand
that if
up.
we had a great draft record, like what G Baby was saying earlier, he's correct. You can find an edge rusher in the 3rd round that can do what he's been doing. We just have to
Shit,
work.
no, the fuck you
Bullshit.
Yes, you
Can I
can,
clarify?
bro. Yes, you can. We just have fucking
so
shitty
listen.
evaluators, bro. That's
Hey,
Carolina Panthers have never
You
done
have
that.
good coaches that develop properly with
When I
other
brought
good
up-
players
So
around
y'all
them.
believe in the Carolina Panthers drafting skills? Okay, all right.
No,
Yeah,
we've not been
exactly.
very well.
Exactly.
No, but that's
Exactly,
what I'm
like,
saying. If
come
we
the fuck
did
on.
have
He said a 3rd round
bro.
pick.
talent, if we
He
could
said it's third round
That one,
pick.
Pop.
if we could
Right, y'all
draft
just
talent, then this wouldn't even be a conversation.
So
That's
listen,
why
man.
y'all are so worried about losing him. That's the
Go
I
ahead,
want
only
to say
Twan.
reason.
I want to
Go
state a
ahead.
Act like
fact
he's
Go
first,
some
ahead.
though. I
elite
want to
ass
state a
guy.
fact.
Go ahead,
I
Twan.
want to state a fact.
That's a fact.
When G Baby, and this is why I tell you, this is when motherfuckers don't do their research, y'all. G Baby said you can't mention Brian Burns and Peppers in the same sentence. If you look at their careers up to where Brian Burns is right now and look at their stats right now, it's the same.
They're damn near
You
neck and
don't
neck.
even have to go down the whole path to one. You can say
It's
I
the
saw both
fucking
of them at
same.
Starbucks, and you can use them in the
So
same
guess
sentence.
what,
I mean,
though?
holy
So
shit,
what
are we
did
doing this
so
right now?
so listen? It's the same. So guess what? What did Pepper Pop just told you? What did Peppers eventually do? And what might Brian Burns might do? He might leave and go somewhere and ball the fuck out somewhere else, and then go ball the fuck out somewhere else, and then maybe one day he'll come back and play for the Carolina Panthers towards the end, like Peppers did. But for right now, they can be mentioned in the same sentence because their numbers are almost the fucking same. Am I not wrong, Reds? Almost
Nope, you're not wrong. I looked it up
identical.
myself. They're damn near identical, bro.
Y'all
Well,
are
I'm not
missing
an
so much
expert.
context, though. I
Damn,
mean,
G
Julius
baby
Peppers.
can't
There is
even say a
no,
word.
there is no more
There's
context.
no
Where you
Yo,
at,
It
G
is
hold
what
baby?
on, let
it
me
is.
speak. I'll give you the context. Julius Peppers stop the fucking run every play. Julius Peppers would get one-handed interceptions and
But
take them to the house.
listen, you
Fuck
guys
This is
are
a
Bro,
bullshit
taking one
Julius Peppers played on
example.
a better
Can I
Wait,
just
team
say
than
wait,
Brian
one
Burns
word?
let Anthony finish and then we'll go Straps.
No, I'm done. I don't know why y'all's dicks get so hard for Brian Burns, bro. The
It's
reality
not, dude. It's not. I already said I would like
hold
to
on.
get rid of him, but I
No,
can still
no,
like
but
look
y'all
at this
need
from
to
a
accept
logical
the
perspective.
reality.
Hey,
Y'all
Twan, can
need
you
to
tell me
accept
He
who
was
else was
being
on it?
out of place last year, Anthony.
Can you tell?
What
Can you tell me?
reality? What
I got.
fucking
I,
reality, bro?
Well,
A player getting misutilized? Just
at a
like Bryce
time.
Young was getting
One at a
misutilized?
time.
On this damn website said that their stats are the same. Julius
I got.
Peppers had 12 sacks his
There's
rookie
Pickle.
year. He had 7 his second year. He had 13 sacks in 06.
Did
Brian
he have it?
Burns ain't never had 13 sacks his entire fucking life. So let's throw the roll on their stats are the same.
I don't know why
They're
we're.
identical was the point.
They look the
No
same.
one said
You
they're.
up here blabbering. You up here blabbering. You mentioned the
You gotta
7
go up
sack
to
season when
all
Brian
6
Burns
years.
just had 8 sacks in a down year.
Bro,
Out of
You gotta go to
position and
all
everything.
6.
Out of position and
Hey,
everything,
Cody, can I
bro.
say
Look
something?
at you. You
May I
sound
say
gotta
dumb as
go
hell,
up to all
Pickle.
6
You
years.
sound dumb as
Pickles.
fuck. You sound dumb.
You gotta go
Alright.
up to all 6 years, Peckles. You gotta
my
go up to all.
Why y'all make me do it to y'all like that? Why y'all make me do y'all like that, man?
Dude, Julius Peppers is our only Hall of Fame player in Carolina Panther history. It's just crazy to me, bro.
Gotta hit that
Point
shit
across
again.
to JJ. Let me get this
One
point
at a
across to
time.
JJ.
Look, hold on. Let me.
Julius
I
Peppers
want
has 11 interceptions in his career. 11 interceptions in his career. How many interceptions does Brian Burns have?
I
0.
don't think he is. One trying to find
Exactly.
one. But hey, let me
I'm not arguing. I'm no longer arguing whether you re-sign him or not. Because the last time I looked on my cell phone, they don't call me and ask me my opinion. They don't call none of you sons of bitches on this website your opinion. They don't
call
watch
me
your
Pickle.
podcast. If they do,
call
they
me
don't give a
Pickle.
damn.
No, they
So
really do
bottom
call me
line
Pickle.
is, it's just an opinions.
But my thing is, wait, hold on. Let me let.
You're not the same player the last
Yeah.
Wait. Let me get. I want to get JJ in because JJ been fighting to get in. Go ahead, JJ
I've
and
been
then
on the train
Straps.
of keep Brian Burns the whole time. I hope I make myself clear when I say that. It's a player was out of position last year most of the time. He wasn't supposed to be in coverage. He's better in a whole different scheme, which we weren't even playing last year. We should be in a 4-3, but I just think we should keep Brian Burns because we'll have our defensive line halfway done. I mean, we could get him on a reasonable contract, whether it's this year, whether we franchise tag him and do it next year. I just feel like we should keep him, man. Yeah, I feel like we all have it clear. He's a complimentary edge. He's not the main guy. He's not the main edge on the Super Bowl defense. We get that. But everybody, I mean, like, come on now, y'all. Y'all trying to chip and jab him. Who gives a fuck at this point? Either we keep him or we don't. But we gonna get some value out of him if we don't. Y'all
Can I
best
chime in
believe
after
that.
him?
We will.
Let me wait.
I had
Let
to
me.
respond to Jay. Hold on, he said something earlier. JJ, wait, I get your point, but that you're contradicting yourself in the same way. Like, oh, he played out of position. He's going into Evero's defense again, bro. Does he want to be played out of position again? Does he
Hold on,
want to
Anthony.
be
Hold on,
underutilized?
Hold on, Anthony. Real quick. Hey,
I got
Pickle.
stressed,
Pickle.
man.
Hold on. Because you said Brian Burns never had 13 sacks in the
Cole?
season. But right before that, you said he had 7 sacks. Bro, if you take 12 and a half plus 8, that's 20 and a half. Bro, if you take 13 plus 7, that would be 20. So even in back-to-back seasons you brought up, Brian Burns had more accumulative stats if you add it together. Like I said, that was a pretty bad point on your part. Just because he had
Brian Burns has
one
46
specific season,
sacks
he
let
had
me finish.
more. Brian Burns is still as productive as a player, even out of position now on a garbage team. When are we gonna get that across?
Look at the stats.
We got all these garbage players around Brian Burns.
Wait.
Pull
Hold
up
on.
the stats. They're real
Wait,
simple.
I told Stats that he can go. Go ahead,
It's
Stats.
real simple.
What I noticed, and I think a lot of us had noticed, at least the people that were reviewing the film this year, and I didn't do it as frequently as a few of you, I will say, but from what I've seen, and we touched on this, is that he, and I don't know, I can't tell, none of us can tell you whether or not this is on him or this is on the coaching. I would side with it being in maybe the coaching, but I don't know. But what I've seen is he is too fast. He has the speed, he has the momentum, he's got the style, like he's got everything he needs.
He's got the bend,
the boxes, but he does it at the he does the if we're playing Tekken, he button mashes the wrong button mash. He accidentally double taps X when it needed to be X triangle. Like he doesn't do it execute quite the right way at the right time. And what ends up happening is he goes too wide or too shallow in his rush into the QB, and his timing is off with the pressure on the opposite side of him, and he ends up just kind of like squeezing like a tube, squeezing the QB right out the side. And he does it, I can't tell you how many times a game he does it.
That can be fixed, though.
Can I
I think it's a coaching issue. I would
In
lean
year.
toward that. But
It can be fixed. It wasn't fixed in year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're gonna try and fix it in 6. Come on, bro. Y'all willing to give up on Bryce Young after 1 year, but y'all got so much faith in fucking Brian Burns.
I want to put another perspective in your mind. I want to put another perspective in your mind.
Okay, but let me just finish. I'm wrapping it up. I'm almost done. The last thing I'm going to say was that I, for those reasons, would not want to continue to have him here. I think he will do well. And so I would try to get value for him. I don't know when I would that.
That's his opinion, man. I respect it.
Okay, can I give y'all another perspective?
Yes, and then I want to introduce 2 people. Go ahead, Pop.
Okay. How many of y'all, other than I know G Baby, I think he said he doesn't like Evero, but how many of y'all, other than that, is cool with having Evero back?
I'm not.
I would.
I didn't really go back.
I mean, I'm cool with it.
What up, Kyle?
I'm not mad at it, bro. We could have done a lot worse, and I like the fact that we had some continuity going into 1 year. But wait. I do want to say this, though. I don't think that we're able to judge a 3-4 in 1 year's time, man.
Right.
I do think that we need some time to build it, so that's why I'm not.
Hold on. I didn't finish my statement. I didn't finish. Go ahead, Pop. So he's been here for 1 year. This is his second year being a defensive coach, being a 3-4, doing a 3-4 here, trying to get the adequate players here. How unfair is it to Evero to take one of his best weapons away from him to make a gamble? Because I'm telling you, this draft, they're not looking at defense in this draft. They're not. They're not going to. They might get you a safety with that last pick, but it's going to be mostly offense because the offense is so bad. Like you can't sell tickets with the offense looking that bad. So now you have to handicap your coach. And just because he did a pretty decent job with all those injuries that we had, I got to take my hat off to him. But now if we get rid of one of his best players, is that fair to Evero, guys?
Well, it's not fair to it's not, but it's not fair to anyone because David Tepper has to invest in Bryce Young now because the dumbass GM traded the offensive pieces. If he never did that, then we wouldn't be in this situation.
I get that. I'm just talking about from a football perspective. Take Tepper out of it. Just you being a fan of the team and the coaching staff and the players. Is that fair to Evero to sit here and take another hit just because?
From a football perspective, I hope they're asking that question.
And you know what? They're
in
also
that room right now with all three of them,
and
head coach Dan Morgan and Tepper.
You know the other thing that y'all got to take into consideration because I'm sure, but this also is going to hurt Evero get a head coaching job, which he probably deserves.
I'm just going to throw in there that
I hope it doesn't.
He definitely started in Carolina. His first year in Carolina, he was without Shaq Thompson the entire season. So that was one part of a big, our offseason going into it. So we've already seen him one big player down. So
I agree with that. I think Shaq's still a solid player.
That's
like
a good point.
Probably a B- player. But like listen, Pop, I've been telling people that I felt bad for Evero and that it's like, I mean, he was given a shit hand. So it's
I feel horrible for him because it's like no matter how good a job he does, we're just gonna keep taking away from you.
But this is not new though. This is not new.
But you're okay.
This happens to niggas in the NFL, bruh. This is not new. We know this.
The head coach sets the tone. All right,
I've never been happy with taking away from the defense. I'm an old-fashioned guy. I believe in building your defense before your offense.
Man.
If I was running the offense, we would have I'd go get a couple of power running backs. And,
we'd be running the Steve Wilkes offense.
And we would pretty much keep the same wide receivers we got. That's a fact. And we would build up the defense. That's just a fact. That's me, though.
It's going to come down to it'll come down to what we see from coming out from Canales, because like I said, the head coach is going to be the one that sets the tone, and this is something that we saw. Wilkes can do that. Other coaches, some coaches cannot do that. Given like when shit hits the fan, so to speak, or when it's not going well.
Hey,
in like the
can I
perfect
just say
paradigm,
that?
maybe it's easier.
The main problem with our defense is we couldn't stop the run. Evero made cornerbacks and DBs look good this season when we did play against the pass. But the reality is that another reason, like I'm not going to bring this up again, but I have to for the context of the situation. Brian Burns is a good player. I'm not denying that. But he's not a good run stuffer, and I don't think he fits a 3-4. I just don't think this scheme fits him. Like I think
because
that's the
edges
reality.
don't stuff runs. That's
I disagree with
edges'
that.
responsibility is not stuffing a run.
No, I disagree with that.
It's
I
setting
disagree
the
with that
edge.
completely.
It's setting the edge.
Brian Burns was painted as this edge rusher, exactly what you said, Twan. And last year he spent it how many percentage in coverage? He wasn't being used
Move
correctly.
him back there chasing fucking
Just like
receivers.
Chin. That's why I put him in the same category as Jeremy Chin. Like he is a great player that we could have on this team, but he doesn't fit our team the way that it's built right now,
And that's why I'm
and it's not changing next year. And it's not changing next year. It's not changing next year.
One at a time.
You're right. You're right. Why would he want to come back? Why would he
want to come back? That's what I've been trying to say, and no one has an answer.
Well,
No
wait,
one.
are we all on the
doesn't
same
wanna
page
come
of
back.
saying he shouldn't be here? Because then it saves us
No,
time in
I'm
our
stating
argument,
the
and then we can just talk
reality.
about what we can get for him.
No, it
Because
sounds
then
like a lot of
keep
people
the whole
still
thing
want
up.
him to be here.
Okay, I'm stating the
I want
reality.
him
I've
to pay
already
him
made
his
my
fucking
stance.
money is what I want him to do.
I don't care if he stays or goes, but I'm making the argument on both sides that you guys talk about Evero and how like he was misusing players. What makes him think that what makes us think he's gonna put Brian Burns in a better situation?
You're right.
What makes Brian
They
Burns?
gotta
Why would
This is an Evero argument.
They gotta talk.
But
He's gonna have to
Evero
talk
is
because
being
I remember
retained.
Evero. I remember Evero said we got Brian Burns and we got other people scratching and crawling.
Yeah.
Which tells me it's just like
He
remember
did say
like,
that.
like
He
I
did say
said,
that.
it's just like why would Ron Rivera put him as gunner on special teams? What? Like some
That
defensive
was
guys
dumb.
just make some dumb decisions. But like we said, that was his first year coaching him. Maybe they could talk now while the offseason and say, hey, bro, I want to be specifically right here. I don't want to drop in coverage. You got to cater the game around
They
me.
got to
That's what
talk it
he
out, bro.
signs. They got to talk it out. But on the other end, I can understand that Brian Burns says, you know what? I threw my hands up. I've given you my blood and sweat and tears over the years. I'm 24 years old. I'm in the top 15 of edge rushers. And y'all asked me to do everything. Drop in coverage, play a 4-3, play the 3-3-5, play the 3-4.
Try to
Like,
do the
what do y'all
same shit
want
with
from me?
Chin, bro.
That's what I was just gonna say, and keep
Yes.
pounding. Says it in the chat. If
Just leave a
if
motherfucker
we
where he at, where
retain
he's good
Chin,
at.
3-3-5, 3-3-5.
And I'm not doing that bullshit again. That soft zone 3rd and 15. Let's just throw it over the middle for a first down. I'm done with that. I was fed up with the
Chin
Phil
ain't
Snow.
staying.
He's
Chin
not.
ain't.
He's not
Chin's
going
absolutely
to.
not.
Can I ask you a question?
Everybody's
Clear on
hold
his
on.
exit.
Yeah, let me jump in.
He ain't
Let me
staying
jump
here.
in. Everybody's saying that Brian Burns, why would he want to come back here? The real person that's relevant for is Jeremy Chin.
Yeah.
Dude,
I wouldn't
Jeremy
come
Chin
back.
saw his
I would
snaps go
retire before I
down.
come back here.
Yeah, his snaps went down tremendously last year. He
They
doesn't
did.
want to play for Evero
It was
anymore.
ass, though. He was getting cooked.
Yeah, he's getting cooked too.
Well, I mean,
Yo,
they,
you
I
know,
mean,
hey, bro, y'all know how
Can
I've
he-
been saying. Y'all know how I've been saying we need to move Kema Kwanu to left guard. Bro, I'm convinced we should have moved Chin to linebacker 2 years
I
ago.
agree.
2 years
Need to
ago, we
stop.
should have moved his ass to linebacker.
And that's Matt Rule's fault because he
But
just
he's got a
drafted a bunch
neck like
of.
he's
Matt
got a
Rule-
neck like a pit bull, man. You can't tell me that dude couldn't
I
have
thought
put on
No,
10 more
he
pounds
could've.
and run a
I
line.
thought we agreed he's now he who must not be named.
That's what we say on Black Cat. But for example, Pickle, right? If Pickle is good at saying "shut the hell up," I'm not gonna put Pickle in kiss my ass. Pickle is good at telling you to shut the hell up. Let people stay with me. That's one of Matt Rule's worst flaws. He would look for people that, like, especially
RAS
linemen,
score.
that could do
RAS
multiple
score.
things. No,
And then
I
try
want
him
a
out.
player that's literally good at. If he's good at right tackle, let him stay at right tackle.
Did you
Good
already
at
talk
guard,
about
let him
Matt
stay at
Rule
guard.
in his conversation that he had with?
I don't
No,
listen to. I
man.
don't listen
No, we
to
don't
Hey,
care about that.
Hey,
Hold on,
hang on. Hey, but hold on. I gotta
Hold on,
introduce. Hey, let me give them the introductions they deserve. First up, my man Kyle from Charlotte Sports One back on the show. Always repping the best hats in
What
the
up,
game,
Kyle?
bro. What's
Yes,
up,
sir.
Kyle?
Yes, sir. Loving it. Hey, how we doing, guys?
Cal, you are not
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
with
man.
my hat game, bro.
Man,
He
come
has to
on,
come out of
listen. I'm
retirement,
at like 17 or 18.
Okay.
I don't know.
When you
Bro,
get to
he got
52,
the
holla
clip.
at me.
I got them all over.
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
and we also got my man Alex A14 Panthers in the building, holding it
What
down
up?
on the left post.
What up,
Alex,
Alex?
what's up, man?
What's up, Alex?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy
Yeah,
Friday,
happy
brother.
Friday.
Happy Friday, man.
Yes, sir.
Can I ask
Uh,
y'all a question?
let me wait. Hold
Hold on, let me ask
that.
a question.
Wait, hold that question. Let me let Alex get in on the free
All
throw
right.
real
Yeah,
quick.
I got you.
Alex, what you got on the show today, man? What you want to talk about, man?
Oh, honestly, I was just listening with you guys, and
Yeah.
then as far as like the Brian Burns conversation, it's tough because for whatever reason, our franchise, when we have a good player in hand, and it's like he gets hurt or something, and I'm gonna say this too. Brian Burns to me looked hurt all year. He was banged up all year. So
He did.
and he was out of position. There's a lot of things to me that like I didn't want to judge him off of this 1 year. And he's still young, 24 years old, still could get after the quarterback. And there was times like you guys were talking about, he's planning coverage. Like that's not what Brian Burns does. He gets after the quarterback, he puts pressure on, and that to me, I just don't want to judge him off of that. So I'm going back to like signing players and stuff. It's just so tough to watch. Hopefully the new front office could help out with that, because letting Christian McCaffrey go off of like a couple injuries was not okay. I think that was, I know they were trying to get picks and all of that, but that was, as you can see, we're going to be watching him on Sunday. So
that was to cover their own ass.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know, but like things like that.
They traded McCaffrey to cover their own fuck ups from the year before.
Yeah.
And they just did.
Yeah, and it's not working out. And you can see now we're gonna be watching them on Sunday.
They didn't even trade. They didn't even trade McCaffrey for like grown ass like trees already. They traded him for fucking magic beans.
And who's that just said that? Who just said that?
Me. I never wanted
Anthony.
to trade McCaffrey.
Anthony Piccarillo, bro. You be talking some real shit, bro. And so listen, if we trade Brian Burns, right? How am I gonna have any faith that they're gonna come back with some better players?
You don't.
But here's the argument. Here's the argument to that. This is why I said we shouldn't have hired Dan Morgan. Because if you're trading Brian Burns away and you don't believe and you still have questions about whether you can draft well, then why'd you fucking promote within? Why'd you promote within an organization that's shown you nothing?
Because he comes from. Because that's what happened.
Dan Morgan didn't do any of those draft picks. That was all Scott Fitter.
Ain't nobody going to come in here without the abilities to release any and all persons they want. If you hire a general manager from outside and you tell him, the first thing you tell him, here's the quarterback that you have to use, and here's the defense that you have to use, here's the defensive coach that you have to use, they're going to say, thank you very much, I'm out.
Hold on, but what Edge just said, right? Dan Morgan didn't do anything. That's the same bullshit I was hearing from Scott Fitter 2 years ago.
Anthony, you don't know how much weight he had in the
Yes,
room.
I know,
They're all swinging their weight around the room when they're walking through, talking about trades. You don't know how much weight
Dan
he
Morgan
had.
had a lot of weight, but David Tepper
You gotta wait and see what this dude can do first, bro.
Yeah.
Okay,
for real,
that's
man.
fair. I didn't say I'm out on him. I didn't say
It's
that.
a clean slate.
He's saying that he got his eye on him. He's not clear. He's questionable.
He's questionable, just like Scott Fitter was questionable when he first got hired. Like that's
and our new head, and you can also say the same about our head coach. Our new head coach, we got to put an eye on him because we don't know what the hell he's gonna do with him.
No, absolutely, and that's why I've been telling fans, man. That's why I said I have no expectation. If you're expecting playoffs this year or trying to buy yourself into any of that bullshit, no, you're gonna be disappointed.
No,
this is what I want.
No, an intelligent, smart fan would not think anywhere near the playoffs next year.
No, hell no.
If we sniff 50%, I'd be happy.
Exactly.
I don't.
Pickle.
If we sniff 50%, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we're gonna get there.
As a fan, this is what I want. I don't care about the wins or losses. I just need to see improvement on something that I can build for the next season. I just want to see improvement for the next season of building. That's what I want.
You know how simple that goal is.
I'll be happy.
Complicated they end up with
Bryce Young does horribly. Bryce Young does well with a losing record, and hey, you know what? He does well with the losing record. Hey, I got something I can build. Now I can see. Okay, he done this. He done well with this. Let me build off of that. What he did with that. Yeah. Okay. Great. We have a 4-game. We have a 4-game freaking season. A 4-win season. But you're seeing progression. You're seeing building. You're seeing growth. If you can have that with that losing season, then you have something that you can build off of for the next season because you know what you can sustain with what you're gonna get.
So this is my question. What I'm looking for. I'm gonna segue a question off of that I've been wanting to ask. I don't want anybody to answer the question verbally, even though I know it may happen. But just think about it in your head. And Pop, we talked about this before.
I'm gonna answer.
Just think about it in your head. Just think about it in your head. Are you guys going to be able to deal with waiting for almost 6 years until we go to the playoffs? Because that's a real possibility.
Well, does it matter? Because what we end up saying anyway.
I mean, if David Tepper called me up and asked me if I like it, I'd say no.
How much influence do we really pull here?
I mean, they don't really give a damn what we like. If they did, I wouldn't have had to put up with Matt Rule 6 years ago.
That's why I'm asking fan to fan. Look? The reality is,
hey, Quan, if we do it the right way
before we do it.
Yeah, if we do it the right way, I don't care how long it takes, man. I've been saying we need to build this.
It's always gonna be an asterisk as long as Potato Head is the owner. But I'm just saying, are y'all willing to wait? Because that's what it's gonna fucking
Potato
be.
head ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going
His
anywhere.
old lady gonna take over. So
May I raise my hand?
Because as
How do I
long as
raise
you're
my hand,
alive, a Tepper's gonna own this.
Because I mean, I'm willing to wait.
All right, I got
Look,
you,
I know this shit ain't changing around as quick as we want it to.
Hey, I mean, I'm gonna say this is that you know what? You never know. That's what football is a game of you never know because look at Houston. No one thought Houston was gonna be at where they were at. No way.
David Tepper.
Look at the Bengals.
Yeah,
Damn
there's
right.
teams that it
No
could
David
take.
Tepper.
You could literally
Hell,
take
look at
in
the
2
Eagles.
years if
a
you
lot of
draft
people
right.
counted the Eagles out a few years ago.
2-1. Does
If you
Tepper have an
draft
ego?
correctly in 2 years and you have an
Does Tepper have
identity
an
with
ego?
Canales,
Yeah.
it could happen.
Yeah, it's pretty huge.
Oh,
No
well,
shit, he's
then you
got an
answered your
ego.
own
He's got-
question because his ego is so big. Yes, the answer is absolutely. He's trying to win. He just sucks at trying to win.
And you know what he's gonna
No,
do?
it's-
The first time we have a winning season, he's gonna show up out of nowhere and be like, "See, I did that. I told you."
Yeah, he
boys."
wants to be able to say he did
I hope
it,
he
and that's-
doesn't, but
Hey, and
that's
listen,
Jerry
as long
Jones
as he
bullshit.
can do it another year, if he does it a consecutive year, I don't care if he has a parade in the street. Who cares?
I agree with Pickle.
I don't care.
If we
I don't
win,
care.
you know what? Tepper can do whatever the fuck he
Give
wants
him
to
a
do.
parade. Give him a
Yeah.
parade.
Change
Who
it
gives
from
a shit?
what's it, Minton Moorhead, wherever that street they're at. Rename it
Yeah.
Tepper Boulevard.
I got a
Right.
question for my lawyer.
All right, what's up? What's up? You know I got you.
I know you're gonna be honest with me.
Of course.
If Bryce Young throws 20 touchdowns but 21 interceptions, are you still keeping him?
Fuck no. I'm moving on. Dog. Like I'm gonna give the shortest quarterback in the NFL 2 years to show me some kind of progression. If you're not showing me something by year 2, at least giving me that flash of upside, no, I think you have to move on. And I think that's fair. And I know a lot of people would say 3 years, but I think that now that you have a brand new head coach, I don't think it's going to be a long time of trying to make something work when it clearly isn't. So I think they're going to give it a go. If Bryce makes a jump this year, that's going to be their guy, and they're going to build around him. But if he is mediocre, like you said, 22 touchdowns, 21 interceptions?
No, 21 touchdowns, 20 interceptions.
Yeah, that's unreasonable, man. Like that's
Going to
not
the draft.
that's not yeah.
Right.
We back. And
This
we
is the only
probably
thing-
have a top 10 pick in that
Yo, y'all
scenario.
gotta realize
This is
too,
the only
as a
thing.
Bryce Young
Just
fan,
off
as
of
a Bryce Young
off
fan, if
stats.
he sucks, oh, go
Well,
ahead.
This is my last thing, real quick. Just off of stats, off of Canales, you will see an improvement in Bryce Young, but I don't think it's going to be good enough
Yeah, we don't
to
know
actually
that.
keep his job.
Hey, let me say this.
I'm saying off of stats, off of statistics of what Canales has done. I
Let me
believe
say this.
we'll see an
Go
improvement
ahead.
in Bryce.
Hey, go get Jordan
But I
Travis
don't
out of
know.
that
I
damn
don't know if
draft.
it's going to be. Oh my God, get off of F.
And put his,
Stay right there,
and
bro.
put his ass behind Bryce and make his ass.
Hey,
select.
why is Twitter telling me that Caleb Williams is in like a red dress or some shit like that? Have y'all seen this? Have y'all heard this?
People are weird, Cody. People are fucking weird.
They said there's a picture of it. They said there's a picture of it. I'm just telling you what I heard.
Go look for the picture, Cody. Go look for the picture, Cody.
Hold on. Two things.
All right,
Two things.
I'm gonna look.
Let me add on to Pop's point, but I do want to say this. I don't give a damn if my quarterback wears dresses. If he could throw the fucking football and score touchdowns, who gives a fuck how he wants to
I kind of
express
care
it?
if he wears a fucking dress.
No, but hold on. People blame Cam Newton for the same shit. So no, we gotta hold that.
Anthony, hold on, Anthony,
high heels, but I was told to shut my fucking mouth and get over it.
Anthony, hold on. You gotta put it in context. You can do that once you're on the team, not before you're drafted.
Okay, that's fair. Let me add on to your point though. As a Bryce Young fan, as a Bryce Young fan, as someone that has his jersey, if he doesn't show promise this year, go ahead and draft another quarterback if you got a top pick. All I'm gonna say though is that next quarterback isn't just gonna magically solve all our issues, man.
Right.
Because
Hey, guys,
we're in a rebuild. So
Let
even
me
if
tell y'all
you
something about y'all money. Stop buying rookie jerseys. Pay for that shit a year after.
Hold on, I sold most of mine. I only got like my 3 Cam Newtons left in that one. That's all I got. But.
real quick.
Let them earn
Yeah,
your money
I don't
first.
have a Bryce
Yeah.
Bryce jersey yet.
Hey, does anybody want my Bryce jersey? I'm not gonna wear it.
Yeah, y'all gotta stop buying these.
Hey,
rookies
so
jerseys.
is this real? Is this real?
It can
No,
be.
that's Photoshop.
I'm just.
Nah, that's Photoshop, bro.
I'm not even going to explain it.
I also
Paint.
Yes, that's
It's
Photoshop.
not Photoshop. It's not
How did?
That was
Hold
Yeah,
on,
wait,
hold
wait,
on, hold
wait,
on, hold on,
wait a
hold on.
minute.
How did they get his? You gotta,
Wait a
you gotta,
minute. Maybe
you gotta ask
let-
yourself. How did they get? How did they get his shoulders with the tattoos? How did anybody know that? Where do you
Oh,
take
I
a
don't
picture
know.
from that?
It's probably
Where's
something
shoulders?
maybe this is his way of forcing of trying to get teams not to take him that high.
That's
the Bears
Photoshop.
don't want
Yeah.
the Bears don't want
I
to
mean,
put back in a
you know,
dress. Man.
because if I mean
I've heard they do want him.
I don't think the Bears are going to draft him. I really
I
don't.
just want to let
Cody,
y'all know that
Cody, can we play?
I can
Can
put
we
a
play
dress
that
on Tim
video?
just like that.
Time
Wait,
is
what?
transcending, man.
You can put the dress on what?
I can do that. I work in IT. I can do that just like that picture was just now.
I know,
With
but
the
I'm pretty
shoulder.
sure.
I mean, how
I'm
do you know
pretty
about
sure that there's
his
pictures
tattoos
out there
though?
with him. I'm pretty sure that came from some
time is
other.
transcending,
So,
man.
so wait a minute, man.
Okay.
If I send you a picture of Cody, you can put anything on it, right?
Yes.
What you're telling me.
Man, don't get no fucking ideas, pickle. Nah,
No.
we ain't getting no damn ideas, man.
That's so easy.
Hey, Cody,
But
can we play that video that I sent you? Because it's got like a funny ass snippet in there. I sent
oh
you
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's by that
Hey,
same guy.
Twitter's saying that's a real dress, so I don't know, man.
It
I'm not no
probably is,
Photoshop
man. I mean, look, the times are
Uh,
changing for the weirder. You know, some cases. Shit.
Is it black and
By
gold
the way,
or is
we
it
are
You ain't
blue
not.
and
gonna catch
purple?
me in no
We are
fucking dress,
not.
though.
Definitely
Whatever the
white
two
and
colors
gold.
were.
In Chicago,
Four
Rainbow
colors
or
were.
clothing if he chooses.
And this is a video Anthony wanted me to play, and then after this, I'm gonna get y'all Super Bowl predictions, and your boy's gonna get the hell up out of here, man.
All right, and we want to run this on 3rd and long. All right, it's an age-old concept. It's tried and true. Guys have run this since 2007. All right, we want to smash on the backside. All right, we call it Kim. Hey.
Yeah, he's funny.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, now Watson. All right, MVS. All right, I want you guys running this.
Hey,
All
coach,
right, and in front.
you want me to run this too?
Hey, don't worry about it, Davis. You're hurt. All right.
I'm not hurt though.
Davis, I said you're hurt. All right. Why don't you just go ahead and get out of here? All right, go enjoy Vegas.
Now, y'all wrong.
Yeah, whatever. Go
Y'all
sit
wrong. Y'all wrong.
I feel kind of dumb, but I miss you.
Nicole Tepper.
I've been thinking.
Oh
about
my
you.
God.
Hey, Wilkes, we gotta get some sleep soon, man. It's been a Drake night. You know, Prize Picks is giving people the opportunity to win money. If Patrick Mahomes throws for more than half a yard, left up to me, nobody will win nothing. Yeah, I hear you. Davis, what are you doing in here? If y'all want to stop Mahomes, I can help y'all. I want to stop on the team. You know what, son? I think I got the perfect role for you.
Y'all ready? Hey, Davis, drop the beat. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Lifetime.
Yeah, it's dumb as hell.
I don't get it.
Bro, that Nicole Tepper part was freaking hilarious, bro.
It's pretty funny.
She's
All right, man. So look, Super Bowl 58 is upon us, man. The final NFL game of the 2023 season, man. We've got the evil empire back in the building with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and a legion of Swifties descending on Las Vegas to face the San Francisco 49ers with the Offensive Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey, their defensive coordinator, Steve Wilkes, Sammy Dimes is over there. Boys, who y'all got winning Super Bowl 58, man? Or 7, whatever the fuck this shit is, man.
58.
I'm going to pick the 49ers because the Chiefs All-Pro guard is out, and one of their running backs is
That
questionable.
ain't gonna mean shit.
Well, it's just my pick, dude. Don't say no. I'm not. I mean,
You pick who you want to pick.
you know what you think?
Edwards
You
Hilaire.
think you're
Hey, here's
smart?
what.
How
Hey,
much
here's
money
what.
did you win this year? Uh-huh.
Hey, here's what we'll do. Give us your winner, and give us the score, the winner, and who's going to be Super Bowl MVP.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
Christian McCaffrey.
McCaffrey and whoever's playing against Mahomes.
Well, let's go in order.
The
So Pickle,
score
right.
is the score.
Yeah. Go ahead, Pickle. Who are you picking? What's
The
the score? And
score
who's MVP?
will be 24-10. The 49ers. No, 24-21. The 49ers, and McCaffrey is going to be the Super Bowl MVP, and he's going to put up 200 plus yards rushing.
I like that. I like that all day. My man Kyle from Charlotte Sports One, man. Happy I was on long enough to get you on the show, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yo.
man. Give me your who's gonna win the final score, and who's the Super Bowl MVP?
All right, so I got CMC for the MVP. I got the score 24-27 49ers.
24-27 Niners. All right. So we got some believers out here in what San Fran is doing. My client.
I don't believe in San Francisco like that. I just don't like Mahomes.
Yeah, okay. All right. Hey, yeah, I'm not really.
Yeah, that was the thing. I keep the same energy though, because like I kept it for Brady. I hate players that just keep on fucking winning.
Oh, I know. I hear you, man.
That's bullshit.
Hey, it's the Chiefs world.
It make that shit look like it make it look like it's fake.
Bullshit.
Yeah, let me go to my man Poppin. This is my client. I represent this man, whenever he's in any legal troubles, that's my guy. I'm his man.
I need that expungement ASAP.
Better call Cody,
I am going for the 49ers because I despise what the previous regime have done with great coaching and great players. So C-Mac and Steve Wilkes, shout out to y'all. Go get this W. And
Hell
rub
yeah.
it in their faces.
Hey, who'd you say MVP was?
I think their MVP will be C-Mac. But this might be the time since Nick Bosa has been just chilling. He might show up. He might do a line of cocaine. So I'm gonna take the Bosa boy, even though I don't like him.
Bro, he's gonna do a line of cocaine. He's gonna come out in the MAGA hat and he's gonna tear shit up.
Yeah.
He did have 2 sacks in the NFC Championship.
I think he's gonna be too pumped. I think he's gonna go crazy, man. And I agree with the score. I think it's gonna be 24-27.
All right. I hear you. 24-27. Going with the Niners. My man Nick Gaskins on the show. Appreciate you, man. You were great on the show today. Tell me your final score. Who's gonna win and who's the Super Bowl MVP? Yo, Nick. Nick.
Nick sleep, man.
Nick Gaskins. All right, cool. Let's go to my man JJ. JJ, what's your final score? Who's gonna win? Who's the Super Bowl MVP?
Cannot lie. Brock Purdy got me nervous. He's been clutch recently. McCaffrey got me nervous because the Chiefs. I don't know if y'all remember in that Ravens game, but the commentator kept saying throwing to the running backs was the Chiefs' biggest weakness on defense all season long. So, I mean, like, who the fuck better than fucking CMC and Kyle Shanahan to just, absolutely terrorize that. But I think I'm still going to go with the Chiefs. I've been praising Mahomes recently. He'll get the MVP, of course, and just add to his legacy on his conversation to why he's approaching Brady and about to take the GOAT.
Yeah. By the way, the rumors on Twitter is that Usher might have Justin Bieber show up with them in the Super Bowl. Not
And
sure who cares.
The score of the
That wouldn't
game.
happen.
The score of the game will be 35-31.
35,
That could
31.
happen.
And,
Usher signed Justin Bieber. He signed
yep.
him underneath him. So that could
Yep.
happen.
Bro, that would be pretty lit. Hey, let me go to my man Edge. Edge, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here with you guys.
All right, man. Give me your
So-
final score. Who's gonna win, and who is the Super Bowl MVP?
So my final score is gonna be 30, 31, 30. I got the 49ers getting it. And Super Bowl MVP is gonna be CMC, and you're also gonna see, sadly but surely, Sam Darnold get a Super Bowl ring for being a backup.
Oh shit!
Crazy.
Shout out to Sammy Dimes. Hey,
Sammy Dimes.
let me. Yeah, man. Anthony, go ahead, bro. You're a Super Bowl MVP. Who's gonna win? What's the score?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm going with Patrick Mahomes, man.
Yeah, man. You better, man.
You already
No,
know.
don't
But,
do it. We can't handle that.
in all seriousness,
You actually do it really well. I don't mean to make.
I know
fun of
it does,
like
doesn't
you.
it? It
It's
does
like,
a great
you do it
Patrick
pretty well.
Mahomes.
Like, I don't want to. There's a reason why I don't watch his press conferences.
in all
No, that was
seriousness,
good.
Cam Darnold.
They fired somebody else, y'all.
Listen, this Super Bowl is honestly a win-win for me.
Damn.
I just don't think I don't think Brock Purdy's going to get away with some of the fluky mistakes that he's gotten away with against the Chiefs defense. And I think Andy Reid will have the right game plan. I'll take the Chiefs 31-21, and I say that score because in the beginning of the season, the Jets did a Hard Knocks thing, and McCole Hartman was on the team, and this guy thought of what score he was thinking of predicting the Jets to win, and he said 31-21 against the 49ers, and he's now on the Chiefs, so I thought that was kind of cool. So that's why I'm going that score. I think Mahomes will get the MVP, obviously. But if the 49ers win, that'd be awesome because I'll take any opportunity we can to make David Tepper look like a moron. So, if CMC wins and he's holding up the trophy, I mean, that's going to look awesome. So that's my prediction, though.
Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm not trying to see
And having Steve Wilkes up.
I'm sorry. I'm a hater. I do not praise McCaffrey like y'all do. I'm a full-on DJ Moore supporter, though. That's the guy I fuck with the most.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Did you know that the Panthers fired their senior director of football strategy analytics?
Yeah,
They
I
wouldn't
saw
even
that.
know who
We
the
didn't
fuck
even
that
bring
is.
that up.
Did that just happen?
There's a link in the chat. It's to the Panthers.com that shows a picture of him.
To
No, that
apply
was
for
like
this
3
job
hours.
because
Pickle,
I'm
that was
the
like
data
3 hours
analyst.
ago.
So what did you say?
Yeah, I just found that out. Yeah, you know what? That's what you ought to apply for that job.
Where is this job? All right, hang on. Give me a second.
It's in the. You put it in the chat. You should put it in the private chat, Pickle. It don't do us no good in the normal chat. All right. But next up, Strats. Give me your final prediction, man. Super Bowl MVP. Who's gonna win?
This one's tough. There were so many great ideas I heard there from so many. I really every one of them. I like that one. And then the next one I would be like, same with that too. So even Anthony, I see your point on KC winning in that example. So I will say 24-21. And I don't know. I mean, I guess if Kansas City wins, I feel like Mahomes gets MVP of game, and then I feel like if San Fran wins, then I think McCaffrey might be.
I'll say this: if the Patriots win, I mean not the Patriots. The fuck am I saying? If the Chiefs win and Mahomes wins Super Bowl MVP. You have to make the case that he's probably the best player ever. And I know Brady has the rings, but I'm saying he's on a much faster trajectory than Tom Brady was with the amount that he's accruing in such a short amount of time. Dude, that's insane, man.
Yes, sir, Cody. Turn to the dark side. Turn to the dark side.
I might have to, man. Who am I not talking to yet? Twan Don. Happy you came on the show, man. Long time to talk to. Good to hear from you again, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Give me your final score. Who's gonna win, and who is the Super Bowl MVP?
Well, just like JJ said, man, I'm not a Christian McCaffrey dick rider. Everybody knows that about me, bro. Hey, if Christian McCaffrey sat on the sidelines with us in fucking gym clothes, I don't want to fucking see him winning in San Francisco, bro. Yeah, I don't want him getting no chip if he didn't give us that same effort with us, you know. And I know he wasn't hurt the whole time, but yeah, I'm definitely picking the Chiefs any fucking way. You know what I'm saying? I would love for Wilkes to get it if they did win, but look, I'm going Chiefs. And MVP, I mean, who the fuck do you think it is? Mahomes. Yeah, man. Brock Purdy, I think this moment is gonna be too big for him. He showed some signs of fucking up, but when you have a great team, they can bail your ass out. But this is a different animal. This is Patrick Mahomes. And if you make a mistake against him, he will make you fucking pay.
Yes. Yes.
So, all right,
I've
man.
brought that point up before. That's a great point, Swan.
I want the 49ers to win. I'm pulling for CMC. I'm pulling for Steve Wilkes. I want that to happen. But I've been kind of going back and forth, man. Like, I think today on the Brace debate with Monty and Desmond, I picked the 49ers. But, bro, I think I just saw the vision for what's going to happen. I'm going to be real with y'all. I think the Kansas City Chiefs is going to be, I'll say 33-27.
I didn't get my score. I don't even think it's gonna be. I think Kansas City is gonna wind up blowing the motherfuckers out.
Damn. I think the Chiefs are gonna pull it away at the very end. And I think the Super Bowl MVP is gonna be Travis Kelce, and they're gonna have him and Taylor Swift up on the stage with the Super Bowl Lombardi trophy, kissing the trophy. Everybody's gonna get diarrhea,
and I hope they push her off the stage.
I'm sure you do.
Physically, man. I mean, just shove her clear off the stage.
Make her eat some.
All right, man. Dude, we have.
That's what it is.
Look, I messaged my free for all chat saying that we were going to do a short show today, and here we are, almost at 3 hours and 30 minutes. So, hey, man, when we do a free for all, we do a free for all over here, man. But hey, we appreciate y'all, boys, man. It wouldn't be a free for all without y'all coming on the show and making the discussion so lively. Shout out to everyone that showed up today, man. G Baby, Nick, Poppin, still in the building. We appreciate y'all. Shout out Black Hat Panther Podcast. Go check out 704 Charlotte Bound Show. My guy Twan. Support Panther content creators. The rising tide lifts all boats. Until next time, man, we will not be back until Tuesday at 9 p.m. for another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All.
Check out Spaces on Mondays.
Yeah. Look, perfect timing. If y'all want to be a part of these Twitter Spaces that my boys are doing all the time, follow them right here at Panther Pickle, at These Ill Skills, at Colby Griffin or Griffin_Colby, C3JJ_Josh. Follow my homies, man. They're doing these great shows out here, man, on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it.
Monday we had about 3 or 4 people there. Thursday we had 2 people there.
Hey, man, it's that time of year, man. Right now we're
there.
Yeah, man. The numbers are down across all platforms, man. But it's that time of year. We'll get back on it though. Follow my boys. Hit them up on Spaces. C3 Panther Nation. Until next time.
Peace, man.
Keep pounding.